Welcome to the battle for Aiur, Bonyth vs. Dewalt. 9-game champion versus champion Showmatch series, casted by Kwark, MasterRey, and Snipe. For joining me now. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
Glad to be here.
Hello, guys.
So, you're all wonderful community members, casters, players, and most important for me, you play Protoss. And this event is a celebration of and for Protoss, so I'm very happy to have all Protoss players and all Protoss casters, and hopefully a lot of Protoss fans who watch.
Protoss knowledge in here.
All the Protoss haters can sit back and enjoy this event. Oh, they're all gonna be watching it.
There's no one that hates Protoss. Who could hate Protoss, right?
Is Protoss hate at an all-time high these days?
I don't know.
I think the hate to each race is pretty much the same because they get the hate from the other two races. It's always fine, always balanced.
Well, there's more Protoss on ladder than the other race I find. I think I play more PvP than any other matchup, which means that if you hate the race that you run into on ladder more, then there's going to be a lot of Protoss hate.
That's true.
I mean, I hate PvP and Protoss.
Yeah. It could definitely be a difficult matchup, that's for sure. But I actually had a friend point out last night that we got 3 really low APM Protosses in here casting this. So they're like three Protosses known for their low APM, but compared to their skill levels, right? I thought that was pretty cool. So.
I've heard people blame either their opponent's race for being very easy to play, or the map.
For what? For what Protoss wins?
Terrans seem to complain about maps the most. I actually haven't heard that many Zergs complain about maps. I'm not a good source of information, but just
people do
observations.
keep making maps that have really exposed naturals to Mutalisks and all that shit. I mean, I don't know why Zerg would ever complain.
When I spoke to some map makers, that's necessary. It seems to be part of the meta. If they can't pick off workers at Nats, and that's a feature on Eclipse, on Sylphid, on Polypoid, Fighting Spirit, maybe all of the ladder maps, unless someone can correct me. They wouldn't be able to win many games.
Yeah, the good thing in the mirror matchup is those things don't really matter a lot. Maybe because players have different playstyles, but overall, it's all skill that decides here.
I like to believe that, and it's as balanced as it's gonna get, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's same maps over and over, just 3 maps for best of 9. I feel like we are going to get an idea of who's the better PvP player. Of course, it's not the same thing as who's the better player overall, because PvP is just one matchup. But it is going to be exciting. We're going to see, because this is the thing we missed in RCG. Because Dandy, in a huge upset, knocked Bonyth out of the RCG in the semi-finals, which nobody was expecting to happen because Bonyth is Bonyth. Like, he's the favorite in any contest he ever has. But we didn't get to see Bonyth versus Dewalt. We got to see Dandy versus Dewalt, and I mean, congratulations, Dandy. It was an amazing series. But I wanted to see Bonyth against Dewalt. I wanted to know.
Well, we get to find out now, so that's super exciting. I'm really excited for this. The battle for Aiur, I mean, it couldn't be titled any better name, right? Find out who the best Protoss is in the foreign scene.
I've spoken to them about this as well, and I'm kind of concerned about making our little Showmatch series determinant of who's the better player, because tournaments, as you all are aware, because you participate in them and cast them, they're of a different caliber than a simple Showmatch that's put together. So I don't know if we can compare the two, if you know what I mean.
In terms of trying to work out who's the better player, a head-to-head contest between them where they play each other.
Yeah, I mean that's how it makes sense to me, Kwark. But when I spoke to Dewalt and Bonyth, they're like, listen, tournaments are just different. They're very long. You have a best of 1 or best of 3. Some of the matches are live on BSL and whatnot, and I guess I just want to preserve the prestige that
it's not
rightfully
it's not gonna
belongs
be,
to those events.
It's not going to like settle it for all time forever in every possible way, but it's good data that we're going to get here.
And the other thing is, I don't know if 9 games is a determinant of who's better.
Less so than 11 games, but more so than 7 games.
You think so? Because it's so long that...
Yeah, because it's about the variance. PvP is a fairly high variance matchup. So you limit that variance by just having them play it over and over.
Like I'm thinking...
And I said this before you turned on the stream, but if it's a 60-40 situation, then there's a 16% chance that the worst player, the 40% chance of winning the game player, is going to go 2-0. That will happen a lot of the time. If you turn it into a best of 9, that's not going to happen.
At least not as often, hopefully. There's other factors at play too, of course. Like maybe someone's tired or playing really well that day or not playing well, you know. There's always other factors involved, but for sure. But this will definitely be a good measure of their skill. Good PvP action, like best of the best. They both have their own, unique different styles, so this should be a lot of fun.
So guess who decided to stream out of all days and times, who hasn't been on for a very long time? Dewalt TV chose today to log on.
Maybe it could be because the BSL tournament's going on right now, and he's competing in that.
I don't think I even have him on my favorite streamers. That he streams so rarely that I never added him.
Never on, yeah. I never spam somebody's channel and try to take their viewers, but I'm going to do that this one time to Dewalt.
Come watch Dewalt versus Bonyth.
Steal this. They're not going to leave him.
Some might watch both streams at the same time.
It's good to see him though turn on his stream because so many people are always interested in.
Well, he's a good player to watch, right? He's got very solid builds, very solid fundamentals. He's like the best Protoss really to watch if you want to learn standard play and solid play.
Yeah, I agree entirely with that. It's Dewalt's play is always most current meta, and it's always fantastic execution. He plays like a Korean. There's a lot of weird stuff that happens in the foreign meta that doesn't happen in the Korean meta, and Dewalt isn't interested in that shit. He just plays the perfect, correct Brood War.
Yeah.
And I think Bonyth usually likes to play a lot more aggressive strategies, Reaver drops, shuttle arrest, and so on. I think Dewalt usually plays a more conservative style, right? How will that match up today? What do you guys think?
I noticed that about Dewalt too. He seems very hesitant to rush and make a wrong decision.
So Bonyth has absolutely impeccable micro. I don't want to say that his other parts of the game are bad, but they're not as good as his micro, and that leads him to make stylistic choices that other players like Korean pros don't make because they don't lean into their micro so heavily. Bonyth chooses builds around his micro. He deliberately creates these situations that are suboptimal in terms of the strategy, but because of his absolutely breathtaking micro, he just gets so far ahead based on those particular scenarios. A good example of them is his Reavers in PvP, which we're hopefully going to see. He won't, for example, he won't do the perfect composition at the perfect time, but what he will do is get a Reaver at the time that he knows he can exploit it, and then he'll do his micro, and then he'll just get really far ahead. And it's not technically optimal in terms of the strategy, but he doesn't need to be optimal. He knows what he can do if you give him a Reaver. So he just builds his game around that. He gets a Reaver, kills them.
Exactly. I agree with that completely. Like, Bonyth is very well known for his control and micro. I've seen him kill other S-rank players just with Zealots going gate expand or something against Zerg or whatever. Just first couple of Zealots kill, win the game, move on kind of thing. Like, he's well known for his Zealot control, his Reaver control, so This should be a very good, interesting matchup. You know, who's going to win? The guy who's got this impeccable control. Not to say Dewalt's control is bad at all, because he definitely has very good control himself. But like we said earlier, he's more focused around having the perfect strategy, well-executed builds. He's the guy you want to watch if you want to learn the game, get better at the game. But Bonyth is the guy you want to watch for like his control, his micro, how he navigates through battles. So it's going to be a very fun match, I think.
Yeah, if you want to learn about the game, Bonyth does release his vet packs, and they're amazing. You can just get like 500 Bonyth replays. So every 3 months or so, he just packs them
right?
all up and makes them public. But if you try and watch them to learn what to do in different situations, you'll watch one of his PvP games, and he'll go 1 gate, expand against like 3 gate, and you're like, okay, let's see what you do if you have 4 Dragoons against 6 Dragoons, because I normally lose here. And then Bonyth will just kill the 6 Dragoons with his 4 Dragoons. And you're like, this wasn't helpful at all.
It's like, how did that happen?
Do that?
How can you be 2 more Dragoons and 2 less Dragoons? But that's Bonyth, right?
Yeah, it's like, you're like, okay, well, what's the correct strategy here? It's like, I don't know, just kill more with less. It's like, okay, if you're Bonyth, that's fine. Like, I will... but nobody else in the world is going to do that.
Yep, exactly.
Like, a Dewalt vet pack is going to be much more useful if you want to just not get into that situation where you're dead. But Bonyth is just like, no, I do this because I can just micro the goons, it's fine. It's like, okay, yeah, it's fine for you, but this is worthless.
So yeah, that's the downside of trying to copy some of his built-in strats, but I guess figuring that out and not copying them is a smart thing to do. I know you use some of his builds and strategies, right, Kwark?
Yeah, so the 21 gas 2 gate that I first saw him using BSL, it blew my mind, because it's it gets a late scout and then it just has such good follow-up timings on it. And I think I first saw it against Boa on Polypoid, and it just ruined Boa's day. And I'm looking at this thinking, Boa's fucking crazy good at this game, and he can't handle this build. It's nuts.
By the way, there's one more interesting thing we have not talked about yet that can influence their performance here. The map pool, I think. Usually if you have like a game, a normal best of 3 on maps that are very popular, like the ladder maps or so,
right?
It's more normal that both players can play to their maximum skill level. But if you have a map pool that is consisting of maps that are not in the ladder map pool, or not in the mostly played tournaments or clan war leagues, then it decides, like, is a player actually practicing on those maps, or like how many games is he putting in, how much research is he putting in for those kinda unusual maps.
I agree. I actually thought about that too, and I have a question for you regarding that. So, playing these weirder, maybe not as known maps, who do you think would have the advantage here? The guy who's got the strong builds, or the guy who's got the incredible control?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think if you have like a speed shuttle with rivers and so on, you can definitely abuse some maps more than others, but I'm not quite sure how much the difference is on our map pool today. So maybe Kwark, you can enlighten us here a bit.
Well, our first game is Charmander, and I don't know if I've played it, so I'm going to be doing any map analysis I do on the fly, I'm afraid. I've not done enough homework.
I did get a comment from them about the maps that I'll read shortly.
Okay, one last thing. I have played Charmander in the Brutal Clan League a few times, and one thing that I noticed is you have this backdoor expansion behind your main base ramp, basically, and you cannot build pylons or cannons behind the mineral line there. So I think there's a spot behind that mineral line where you can very easily drop reavers, and there's no way you can secure that base with cannons only. So that could be an interesting fact here.
Alright.
Okay, so maybe this is a good segue for me to mention an interview I had with Bonyth and Dewalt before we set this up. This interview happened in December, before Christmas, because we were originally going to stream the games on the 22nd, I believe. So perhaps I could read the script that is in our thread on the Showmatch on Team Liquid. Here it goes. So we've seen some amazing upsurge of SCR content coming out of the foreign scene last year, with a magnificent Season 10 of the Bombastic Star League, another huge year for the Russian Cyber Games, a great beginning to STPL Season 4, and BWCL running strong with a record number of teams in its Season 52. This last year, we watched Bonyth blast through BSL Season 10. We also saw Dewalt take home the gold in the finals of RCG 2020. Dewalt and Bonyth are no strangers to each other. They have met in numerous tournaments and events. Recently, Bonyth won 4-2 over Dewalt in the Bombastic Star League Season 10 Grand Finals. On 2018, Dewalt had won 3-2 over Bonyth in the finals of the Defiler Mega Tour. We asked both of these giants how they felt about their upcoming show match. Me being corny, I said, "Greetings, Executor Bonyth. You defeated Dewalt 4-2 in the Grand Finals of Season 10 of the Bombastic Star League, winning your third consecutive BSL Championship title. So I believe he's won BSL Seasons 8, 9, and 10. Is that correct? However, you were unable to make it to the Grand Finals of the 2020 Russian Cyber Games, despite taking home the title in the previous year. I believe Bonyth had won the Russian Cyber Games 2019, first place. I asked him, do you feel Dewalt's recent victory in RCG 2020 has threatened your hold on the crown? How do you feel about going head-to-head with one of Aiur's greatest representatives outside of Korea in a 9-game show match? To which Bonyth replied, and this is kind of an epic response, and I quote, "It's not the player's job to mark himself as the best in the foreign scene, it's the people's. I've never seen myself as the best. I only want to get better and better. Even when people see me as undisputed number one, I see Dewalt as the most formidable opponent right now. This is why I accepted this show match, among other reasons." Then we asked Dewalt, you were recently crowned the champion of the 2020 Russian Cyber Games after claiming second place in Season 10 of the Bombastic Star League and losing 2-4 to Bonyth in the Grand Finals. During the Russian Cyber Games, you defeated the very strong Sonitas Oya 3-0 in a PvP, while Bonyth defeated Oya 3-1. Given these results, how do you feel about duking it out with Bonyth in a 9-game show match on new maps? Dewalt said, I was sure that I'm going to play in the finals of RCG 2020 against Bonyth, but he didn't reach the finals. So this show match is a great chance to do it. I think the new maps will not matter too much for this match, since me and Bonyth are not very familiar with them, and for PvP matchup, maps do not matter so much. So that was the end of our little short interview. We did set up a prize pool. It's currently at $909. Big shout out to Tofu Cakes for donating $300 last night, helping us reach our second fun stretch goal. So all the replays of this 9-game show match will be released to the public, and they will have a re-show match live on ladder maps in the future. I want to thank all the wonderful donators. CRBT donated $250. Daz donated $200. And other individuals like Eero B84, Damn Funk, Minerals the Map Maker threw in money, Sean Lee, Kwark, thank you very much, J-Tran. If anyone can afford to pitch in a few dollars to get the prize pool even higher for these two players who put their reputations on the line to play 9 games against each other for our little series, we're relatively unknown and new, we would greatly appreciate it. The prize system for this show match is really cool. Every single game won is worth an equal percentage of the total prize. At $900, that means every single game in this 9-game show match series is worth
$100.
Oh, you're good at math, Kwark.
900 by 9.
That's why we need you here. Your public
Also-
accounting degrees and experiences going to work.
If anybody doesn't know who Tofu is, everybody's familiar with Liquipedia. Tofu was one of the governing figures behind Liquipedia 15 years ago when it was first just an idea that somebody had.
Oh, that's
It's-
wonderful. Thank you for
Tofu's-
letting me know that.
It has a huge legacy in the Brood War scene.
Very honored that he joined our cast session last night for just a fun Showmatch event. Big shout out to him. So he made a re-Showmatch live on standard maps in the future possible. And I think it's really cool when you set up the price system like that, instead of a winners takes all, or maybe even a split, like 70 for the winner and 30% for the loser, making every single game win worth some money, which is how we set up our best of the best tournament, which I'll talk at the end of the event. So, without further ado, did Snipe or MasterRey have anything they wanted to say about the comment about PvP on new maps not mattering too much? What do you guys think? When you play PvP, does the map matter? Can we make sense of the comment that maps don't matter as much for PvP, as opposed to, say, I don't know, other mirror matchups, ZVZ, TVT, or just like different race matchups?
Well, the maps definitely matter way more in other matchups, I think. And myself, I'm also like a very conservative player, and I mean, Dewalt said the maps don't matter or don't play a big role in PvP. But I'm not sure about an aggressive playstyle. Maybe in that case it will matter a bit. I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. I guess will be interesting.
All right, so I know everybody's growing antsy, and we are going to get to the game soon. Before we do, I have a dedication to make. The Battle for Aiur Bonyth vs. Dewalt Showmatch series is dedicated to Esport Fund. And Rustbrain, the world famous Esport Fund, has helped sponsor wonderful Brood War events such as the Russian Cyber Games, G's Weekly, Bombastic Star League, Shinhan Tank Pro League, Caster Muse Star League, Africa TV StarCraft Team League, the Costa Rica StarCraft League, Good Game Open Charity, the LATAM Star League coming soon, and Think Quick Showmatch series and our Think Quick Best of the Best tour, among others. According to the Christmas special of the Pylon Show, the Esport Fund ran the most Brood War tournaments and events in 2020, 48 in total, even more than Africa TV, which had 38. The fund's expenses in 2020 totaled more than $62,000. The year before, in 2019, expenses amounted to over $56,000. All this manpower and money was spent bringing us the best foreign Brood War content without asking for anything in return. The fund is a non-profit organization. It does this in a very charitable manner. Unfortunately, an Esport Fund representative was not available for a live interview, but Rustbrain, the face of the organization, who everyone knows, graciously agreed to answer a series of questions from me about the Esport Fund and himself. I asked him, since 2015, how much money has the Esport Fund contributed to Brood War events? And Rustbrain answered, and I quote, $104,000 of my own and $175,000 in total from the Esport Fund. I asked him, why does the Esport Fund contribute so much money in a charitable manner? Being a cynical bastard myself, I'm always thinking maybe this is a for-profit or there's certain conditions attached, to which Rustbrain replied, as a big fan and part of the esport community myself, I believe that it's quite natural to support your roots. The fund is a product of such support. My next question was, what is your own personal interest in Brood War? Why do you love this real-time strategy game so much to do all of this? What do you think about its community online? Rustbrain answered, I've been playing Brood War competitively since December 2003, and I took part in Russian World Cyber Games preliminaries. I still keep close ties with the community, and I'm welcomed in many parts of the world. I admire this community. I believe it is technically possible for me to go all the way down from Anchorage, which is a town in Alaska, United States, to Osaka, a city in Argentina, with as much as $0 in my pocket, but an internet connection, and still find access to hospitable friends. And such community support is far more valuable than rubles, dollars, or gold. I then asked, what would you like to see happen in the foreign Brood War competitive scene? Rustbrain said, I would love to see foreign Brood War end up where it started. Top 1, like on GameNet Star League. Currently it's ASL. Shout out to the old school Canadian player XDS Gur, who was number 1 back in those days. Take it easy, I can count the odds, he said. Finally, I asked, what do you think about Bonyth and Dewalt as competitive players in their own right? What do you think about this 9-game matchup between them? Do you have any predictions regarding the outcome of the show match on newer maps? Rustbrain replied, I'd say Dewalt is by far superior over Bonyth for a number of reasons. Bonyth is a young dad, recently had his first kid. His daughter should be like 4 to 6 months old now. This is a first cause of Dewalt's advantage here. Dewalt may or may not be sleepy. Bonyth will be. Dewalt also has time to practice like a demon. Bonyth is not that free. Second, Dewalt's current BSL Season 11 ladder stats is superior over Bonyth's. Here in connection to BSL, I must apologize before Zero for the reason Russian Cyber Games became BSL's rival tournament, although this was not my intention, and circumstances far beyond my control. This is what I don't like. This tension between the two made it a challenge to determine who is the true champion, whether it is RCG's winner or BSL's. And that basically concluded my short interview with wonderful Rustbrain. And big shout out to him and all the community members whose faces you see on the screen. If you're interested in learning more about what the fund does or how much it has spent, there are financial documents available for download on its website, esport.fund. If you wish to donate to the fund's cause, you can do that too. Most importantly, you can apply for funding and this wonderful organization might match your funds. There's an application available for download on the website. I would personally be happy to offer you guidance. I'm OxTQ from the Team Think Quick Discord. I don't work for the fund. I don't have any real connections to it, in case you're wondering. I just recognize the importance and value of it, so I'm happy to sing its praises. It's pretty straightforward and easy to fill out. I've done it twice, and I was successful both times because of how amazing the fund is, and thanks to community members like Fuji Kora and Liquid Drone, who help raise awareness around it. Thanks everyone for listening to my little dedication spiel. I also want to take the time to shout out the clans to which these wonderful players belong to. Team Soul, ran by Fuji Kora, and IRK, ran by Aggie. Are we ready?
I think we might be.
I think the chat's definitely ready. I know I'm ready for some games.
Okay, last one. What are your predictions? What do you guys think? Who's going to win, and do you have like a score in mind?
It's going to be close.
Yeah. Personally, I'm hoping for a 5-4 either direction. But we'll see how it goes. I might say Bonyth has a little edge because of his control if they haven't had time to practice the maps, but if they did have a bunch of time to practice, play the maps, maybe Dewalt has a slight edge.
So
It's too hard to call.
Dewalt has been practicing like crazy these last few weeks. He hasn't been streaming, but Stork has been streaming. And if you tune into Stork's stream, you can see like a 15-game series with Bonyth. So with Dewalt, then like a 17 games. It's fucking nuts. He's just doing 3 hours uninterrupted PvP with Stork.
MasterRey, do you have a prediction, my
it will be
friend?
interesting. I would say I would give Bonyth the edge here. From my feeling, he just had a little bit more successes in tournaments. But yeah, the thing that Kwark just mentioned, that Dewalt is practicing a lot of, just putting in a lot of effort lately, will be interesting. But I will give a little edge to Bonyth, like 5-4.
5-4. You guys think it's going to be that close?
I think 5-4 Dewalt win, but I want Bonyth to win. The man's my hero.
Sounds like we all have a 5-4 prediction, so there you go.
Most important part is the crown, the trophy goes to Aiur. A Protoss is gonna win, and that's good.
It's beautiful.
That is good.
It's fucking beautiful, MasterRey.
Always good to see Protoss is winning.
All you Protoss haters, this is dedicated to you. And all you Protoss lovers, man. This is a celebration of Aiur. So I hope everyone enjoys the event. We're gonna get into the games. I'm just gonna bedazzle you away with a short video. Okay, so the first map is going to be Charmander. It is made by the American map maker Minerals. It has been featured in STPL Season 4. Map features include standard rushed instance, double ramps into main, wide open middle, pocket mineral only with temple blocking. Any comments about this wonderful map with a Charmander in the center of it?
Charmander's definitely the best starter Pokemon.
It's got that going for it. Personally, I have not seen games on this map yet, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't have much to say about the map.
Yeah, so I played it a few times already. I mean, I mentioned earlier, but now that we have it on the screen and everyone can actually see the map, I can repeat it. You see this little expansion there with the temple, the mineral only behind your ramp, basically. And the terrain that you see behind the mineral line on that expansion is unbuildable. So, but there is still a lot of room for a Reaver to be dropped. So there's no way you can secure that expansion with cannons against Reavers. So that's a little fun info, I think. Fun for the player who has the Reaver, not fun for the player who gets attacked by the Reaver. And another little thing, I have noticed that, or experienced it myself firsthand, that the natural does not have a lot of room. I got Reaver pushed here, I was in my natural, and the Nexus was blocking my own goons. There's really not a lot of room to get a nice concave or to really move in to snipe the Reaver and then move back or so. It's really narrow there, the own natural.
Okay.
So yeah, let's see it.
Are we ready for game 1 of Battle for Aiur? Can I hype this up anymore?
Let's do it.
Just start the fucking game, Ox, and shut the hell up.
Exactly. No, I want to see this. Let's see who's going to take game number 1, take that critical first game series lead.
Okay, so I guess I will start the introduction here. In the top left we have our blue Protoss, Dewalt.
Alright, and then in the bottom left we have our red Protoss, Bonyth. Now, seeing as they're blue and red, did you have them play on top versus bottom, or did they pick blue and red? Did you tell them to pick blue and red, or is that just random? Okay. Looks like you had it on top versus bottom.
Okay, that's always nice. For anyone who doesn't know this, if you play on the melee game mode or any other game mode, and there are some colors that are very similar, the observer or the watcher of the replay cannot switch the colors, but if you are on top versus bottom, you can always switch to red and blue in the replay. That's very nice.
Alright. Well, we got a couple of pylons going down, nothing, no proxies or anything. I don't even know if you can proxy necessarily on this map in any good locations. But we'll have to see, you know, nothing too unexpected at the moment. We'll have to see if someone wants to go for a 2-gate or if both players are just going to go ahead, get their gateway, and then follow it up with a gas. Both gateways coming down now from both players here. and it looks like Dewalt is going to go ahead and scout after Gateway, whereas Bonyth is going to sit back and try and get a little bit of a economic edge from that extra mining probe.
And Dewalt getting the first scout, so he's going to be rewarded from his quick investment. He's going to be able to place a mana pylon if he wants. And there's a double mana pylon at the bottom of Bonyth's, or double mana pylon spot at the bottom of Bonyth's base. If he gets that mana pylon on those 2 crystals, the advantage he's going to get from that is going to be indescribable. If we get one of those, it's absolutely huge.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Probes coming in now. It does look like no gas yet started for Dewalt, whereas the gas for Bonyth is just now finishing.
Did Dewalt miss scout? I think Dewalt missed
He did.
scout.
Oh no.
Oh, that is terrible for him. Especially given that
so unfortunate, yeah.
with the mana pylon spot, he could have gotten it and it would have been so much damage.
And Bonyth is going to get first scout now, having sending his probe in the correct direction. So all of a sudden, this is looking better for Bonyth.
Yeah, especially with Dewalt going for gateway, so pylon, gateway, pylon, gas. He's going to make extra zealots and he's going to try and pressure a base, but he doesn't know which base to pressure because he doesn't know where his opponent is. He's got to think his opponent's the top right now because that's the only base he hasn't scouted. He's going for this aggressive zealot build. Bonyth's not even making the safety zealot. Bonyth is skipping the normal zealot and he's going to get away with it against the zealot pressure build.
Yeah.
And he got the mana pylon too. Wait, what's going on with that pylon? Did he do that to himself?
I can't tell. I can't see a green in the mineral line. It looks yellow to me, but there's no way.
Sorry,
he would have cancelled, right?
It was on my minimap. It was showing as blue, but I just didn't. Oh, look at the zealot rushing top right. Oh, that is just so sad.
And now Dewalt gets the bad news. Yeah. He gets the bad news that he misscouted. I mean, it happens. You can see it happens even at the top level of play. It's unfortunate, but
that's so sad though. Because also Bonyth, I don't think knew exactly where his base exit was. He's building the gateway away from the.
The important part is why this happened. So sometimes the defending player, the scout defending player, can put a probe on the ramp, and then the scouting probe will never get up, and maybe it will turn around, go back and forth in front of the ramp, and maybe he thinks, okay, he's not here, and just scouts another position. But on this map, there are actually 4 ramps, so there are 2 leading out, 2 leading in. So if he clicked into the base, I think the probe automatically goes around. I'm not sure. So yeah, that's a bit weird. So that could indicate that Dewalt did not really put in a lot of research into the unpopular maps here.
Maybe he just assumed the gateway would be towards the ramp, and it was Bonyth who, having not got that familiarity with the map, didn't have a gateway at the top of the ramp, because Bonyth's gateway is pointing away from the ramps. By the way, it's heartbreaking because Bonyth did an unsafe skipping the zealot opener, and Dewalt did the exact opener to punish that. Zealot goon with close positions, and with the mana pylon spot, he should have been rewarded for that, and he just wasn't.
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to have a very aggressive build coming out from Dewalt, though. He's gone up to 3 gateways here, skipping detection entirely. And we do see that Bonyth has gone for that robo and a second gateway himself. Well, that's kind of interesting part of the map right there. Yeah, so Dewalt's going to have a lot of Dragoons early here, and what he's hoping to do is just like overpower Bonyth before he can even get any Reavers or anything out. So we'll have to see if this is going to work. Like, it can come down to control. If Bonyth doesn't react in time and he loses a bunch of Dragoons, this can definitely snowball into a quick Dewalt victory.
I think I prefer Bonyth's position, but if he gets caught on the low ground, then he's not going to be able to get his Reaver out in time. Especially with the double ramp, you can't just sit at the top of the ramp forever because there's 2 ramps in. I like Dewalt's build. It's got a lot of potential, but it was going to have to do damage right now. It's going to also depend on the Dragoon micro. With 2 Zealots tanking, if the Dragoon micro from Bonyth isn't perfect, he could lose this. However, it's Bonyth, so it could be perfect, and it should be perfect.
Yeah, well,
look at it. Yeah, very good from both players so far.
Yeah,
Reaver's only just started. Dewalt's found the timing. Dewalt has the timing right now.
I think it could have been a mistake to trade a little bit of shots here for Bonyth.
Yeah.
Not getting up the ramp immediately, losing.
And he's putting the probes too late as well. Yeah, Dewalt's found the timing.
Very nice. Still both Zealots alive, actually, tanking a lot of these Dragoon hits, so Dewalt can get these extra hits, and I think he's done it here. Like,
Yeah,
he's just killed every Dragoon. How can Bonyth defend this?
Yeah, the pro pool needed to be earlier. The Reaver's at like 90%, but it's not going to matter at this point. Yeah, it's
the
done.
pro losses are too much already. The Reaver will not change this game around anymore.
Reaver gets one shot off before it dies, but it's not enough. There's just too many Dragoons here now for Dewalt. One Dragoon left for Bonyth, and there is the GG. So, nicely done by Dewalt, taking game number 1 here. Dewalt strikes first.
I think part of the issue is the skipping of the safeties. I know that if you can get Dragoons out really quickly, that helps in terms of clearing scout foes and so forth. But he couldn't keep his opponent from just moving up the ramp.
Yeah, I mean, Bonyth also
riskier,
decided. I want to say, Bonyth also decided when he saw Dewalt coming into his bridge on the natural, he wanted to focus out one goon, and in the end he didn't get it, but he got shot a lot by Dewalt's Dragoon in return. So I think that was maybe a bit too overconfident in his goon micro there. He definitely saw that Dewalt had more goons and the 2 zealots in addition to that. So I think if he went up back to his ramp immediately, he might had a chance to hold this, but already almost losing 2 goons in the natural definitely was too much for the 3 god of Dewalt here.
Yeah, for sure. Like, had he maybe pulled up his ramp a little bit quicker, just held from the high ground, maybe he could hold that a little bit better, you know, take a good fight. Once his Reaver gets out, he can push back, and then all of a sudden Dewalt's in a bad position. But as it is, I mean, Dewalt got on top of those Dragoons, got that damage in quickly, like he said, and took down game number 1.
Okay, I just want to quickly mention that the prize pool has reached over $900. Every single game is worth $100. That means Dewalt just won $100. Also wanted to mention that Russ Brain had challenged anyone to a financial bet up to $500. He bet on Dewalt. I'm the only person who took him up on that offer, so I bet $100 on Bonyth. If Russ Brain wins the bet, then I have to donate $100 to the Russian Cyber Games 2021 prize pool. And if I win the bet, then $100 will go to Bonyth and $100 will go to Dewalt. Game 2 is going to be on Blindside, a 2-player map. It has been featured in STPL Season 4 and Caster Muse's Star League Season 4 and many of our show matches. It has slightly longer rush distance, small spine ramp into the main, multiple avenues to move through, 2 blind forests similar to Whiteout, and 4 neutral expansions. Anybody have any comments about this map?
Looks interesting. I have seen a few matches here, but they've all been, like you said, your show matches with Infested Terrans. I casted a few of those. I haven't seen an actual normal game here yet, so that'll be interesting. One thing I'm not a fan of the map is the minerals being on top and the bottom. That's just maybe a personal preference. I always prefer my minerals to the left or the right of my nexus, but we'll have to see. I don't know if there's any inherent, like, positional advantages here to being on the top or the bottom, but...
and you see how the expansions sort of run to the side of the map as well. It's a very interesting feature.
And they go like down and around it. Yep.
A lot of hours have been spent on this map. Its aesthetic details are just bar none, and I love watching games on this map. Kwark, MasterRey, do you have any comments about Blindside?
I'm happy to make my comments in like the first minute of the game once it started when nothing's happening. The anticipation is killing me. I need to see
gotta
game
create
2.
the hype, man.
I do have a comment actually. I played at least like 30, 40 games on this map already.
Oh, that's wonderful.
One uncommon thing that you don't find on any other maps, I think, is the third base location. So if you go out of your natural, you have very close by, you have a gas expansion, and Of course, if you go the other way, in the other direction out of your natural, you have that mineral only on the high ground. It's worth to note that the gas expansion actually has mineral blocks that only have half the minerals. So those mineral blocks, they will mine out very quickly. So you have to choose, do you want to have a third base that has the gas but a lot less minerals? Or do you want to have a base that has a lot of minerals or a normal amount of minerals but no gas? So that could play a role specifically in other matchups, I guess. In Protoss, maybe if one player goes for Templar tech or so, it definitely can make a difference. So I'm really looking forward to the decision if the game goes that long.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's get into game 2. On Blindside, all the games are being shown in the order in which they were played. Our funding goal has been met. There will be a re-Showmatch 9 games in the future live on standard maps, but these are all pre-played games due to latency issues and because Dewalt lives in Siberia and it's very hard for him to, join live games. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, here we go. And this time we have some very similar colors here. At
Yeah,
the top,
maybe some-
Bonyth in gray. I hope it can be switched. I think we should switch it to red and blue here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, so Bonyth, Bonyth at the bottom in red here.
And at the top, we have our blue player up 1-0 currently in the series. It's Dewalt.
Yeah, so I think my first prediction would be Bonyth is not skipping that first zealot this time. Maybe he will be a bit more on the safer side now that he has seen what Dewalt was doing. But of course they could play a mind game and just skip it anyways.
Yeah, the other thing is I think we'll see them both able to scout each other here properly. We won't have, that question of Dewalt accidentally not scouting Bonyth. Of course, he still won the game anyway, so who am I to judge there? But we will see what both players want to go for. It looks like Bonyth setting up to get his gateway, as is Dewalt, and we're going to have that earlier scout from Bonyth. This is what I wondered. Is Bonyth going to scout maybe a little bit earlier this game? And Dewalt, knowing this is a 2-player map, is actually opting to scout later this game than he did last time because he already knows where his opponent is.
Ox, if you want to reveal the map, we can look at some of the features of the map too, the tree lines and the ramps up and down, because maybe a lot of people aren't as familiar with this map as they would be with, say, Polypoid.
Yeah, okay, so the early scout by Bonyth makes me think that he might be a little bit scared that a rush is coming, like a 2-gate or so.
Or potential proxy. I actually saw Dewalt, saw Bonyth's probe come in, and they kind of bumped into each other, and Dewalt quickly checked his third base to make sure there was no proxy there.
Bonyth is again skipping the safety zealot, and this time Dewalt is too, and this is a huge map. The distances between the two bases are far enough that I think it's fine to skip the safety zealot. I think both players are making the right choice. They can get it later, but they get the economic advantage from not having the 17-17 supply block. So I like this by both players.
Yeah, I agree. That's perfectly fine here. Might be a little bit weaker to some kind of mana pylon if a player does get it down, but so far we can see they've
there we
got
go.
no mana. Yeah. As soon as I say that, of course, we get mana pylon here from Dewalt onto Bonyth.
And this is one of the reasons that a lot of players choose to get the zealot either way. Is just because the mana pylon lasts for so much longer if you skip the safety zealot.
Like, Zealot has a higher DPS than the Dragoon, so it will be able to break down that pylon a lot quicker if you do get it, and plus it comes out a little bit quicker, so you will have it. But looks like he is going to try and clear that, and then Dewalt is going to chase that probe out of his base just to deny any further scouting from Bonyth here.
Yeah, another problem here is you can see this probe of Dewalt is sneaking into the base here. Bonyth is busy with clearing that mana pylon. He cannot search for the probe or so because he obviously wants to clear that mana pylon as soon as possible. So that probe was able to sneak in and will get some additional scout information. So that's a direct consequence of that mana pylon. So that's very
Bonyth's
nice
looking for it.
Dewalt here.
Bonyth remembers.
Yeah, he does find it.
Yeah, that's huge that he found that because he hasn't yet committed to a build, but he's about to.
Yeah, you really want to kill that before you commit to a build.
Right now he can either go Robo or Nexus. It's about to make that decision, and it's
Looks like Nexus.
if you know your opponent's choice, it makes the game so much easier.
Yes, looks like they're both going to go for Nexus here. Which again, probably a fine choice, being so that this rush distance is a little bit longer.
Also, I like how Dewalt is sweeping the map, just looking for any kind of proxy. It's very disciplined play.
Yeah, definitely on top of it. And I mean, I guess you would be too if each of these matches was worth $100. You would probably want to bring your best of the best game to try and win that. So.
Okay, and we have our first divergence. We've got Dewalt going for a quick 3-gate Goon, while Bonyth goes 1-gate Robo. Up until now, they have mirrored perfectly, but now it is it's separating.
So who would you favor in this spot?
If Bonyth gets caught in the open again, I like Dewalt's position, but I don't think he's going to. If you look at where his Dragoons are holding, he's staying back, he's on the high ground, he's just going to take and defend his expansion, I think. And with the earlier Robo, he's going to get an earlier Observer, he's just going to know what's going on in the game better. Dewalt may have more stuff, but if he can't get value from that, then the value is really going to be favouring Bonyth's build with the Observer.
He's also added on 2 more gateways now himself, so he's only going to be down about 1 production cycle worth of Dragoons anyway. So by the time Dewalt would move across the map, he would have a similar number of Dragoons to be able to defend. But the only difference is, like you said, he's going to have that Observer out quicker to get that critical key information in such a matchup like PvP.
One of the probes that Dewalt just mainarded was holding a piece of gas, and there's only 2 probes mining the gas in Dewalt's main. He hasn't noticed.
Oh no.
I don't think this is deliberate. You don't go 3-gate Goon into Robo off of 2 probes on gas. This is not a situation in which you would deliberately cut gas. This is a mistake. It has to be.
So, you need, if you want to have 3-gate Goons constantly making, you also need a lot of gas. You cannot afford any gas-heavy robotic units. Or
Dewalt's pushing with 7 Dragoons. Bonyth has enough Dragoons to hold this with the high ground, but they're not in position. He's got 3 Dragoons at the front, and if Dewalt gets on top of these Dragoons, he will be able to kill all of them. He can just start to move in. Could be absolutely devastating. Okay, Bonyth's retreating. He's going to lose 1.
Away.
Yeah, he's going to lose 1 for 3. Okay, he's got an arc. He can hold his natural, but that Dragoon is 8 HP left. It's going to die.
It will be very
Never mind.
close. So
Oh,
far, that Goon is
Bonyth's
still
so
alive.
good. He just proves me wrong immediately. Bonyth gives no fucks.
There's a control shining through, right? Just
Yeah.
comes in, snipes one of Dewalt's without losing one of his own Dragoons, so there you go.
Okay, and now Bonyth's quicker observers in Dewalt's space. Dewalt has fixed the gas issue, but having that faster observer, you see everything in your opponent's space. It makes it so much easier to play from here.
Yeah.
And by the way, we also saw that a long rush distance come into play because Dewalt had more goons, he had 3 more, he was pressuring Bonyth on his high ground there, but by the time he actually reached the natural of Bonyth, Bonyth had those extra goons as well, and yeah, was able to defend it. So very nice, probably like a small advantage to Bonyth here.
I think it's more than a small advantage because his much faster Robo with the quicker Reavers. Whenever they have a fight, Bonyth is going to have more Reavers. That matters in PvP. That matters a lot.
Especially when you got Reavers in the hands of Bonyth, whose control, as we've said, is just immaculate. Like the best control you could find in the foreign scene for
Bonyth's
Reavers.
observers just went down.
Yeah.
That's
pretty good.
Yeah, that's his only observer on Dewalt's side of the map. Getting that observer is kind of huge. It means that he doesn't. Previously, he knew he was able to check the buildings constantly. He was able to match gateway count, look for probe cuts. Now, not so much.
Yeah, and you kind of need that observer. I think sometimes you have to really think about remaking that observer, but remaking that observer also means that you delay another Reaver. So
And there goes
that
Dewalt's first
maybe-
observer too. Dewalt's first
Yeah,
observer
okay,
crossed the map, ran straight into Bonyth's Dragoons and Observers, which were in position. One thing I'd like to mention is you look at how Dewalt's pylons are placed all the way around his base. Blindside has his mains that are accessible from 270 degrees. You can run into them with a speed shuttle from any direction. It's such disciplined play here from Dewalt. He's not going to let Bonyth get any kind of shuttle surprise.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to mention that. Sometimes people might question, like, why are there pylons in random places out here on the map? And that's exactly to see if like a shuttle's flying in or something. Get that vision warning. And we do have a shuttle flying in for Dewalt now. Looks like he's going to try and get some probe kills. He gets one scare off, but that one's going to dead.
They are absolutely even on supply. However, Bonyth is 9 workers behind. Bonyth is cutting. And he has his speed shuttle and he has 2 Reavers in it. So this is the Reaver advantage that he gets from that earlier robo. This is the time he's going for.
Yeah, well, we do see him moving across the map now, looking to do a push. We got Dewalt setting up on the high ground here, but we'll have to see how the control is. Looks like Bonyth wants to maybe try and go around this. There is a pathway around it, looks like, yes. So Dewalt's still setting up here. We'll have to see if he wants to take this engage or not. What happened in the main there for Dewalt? Oh, did he fly his Reaver?
Yeah, speed shuttle with Reavers went in and then immediately flipped back to take the fight. This is beautiful play by Bonyth. He knows that he's got the Reaver advantage. He can, he's got the speed shuttle, he's got more Reavers. He can just flick back and forth between the main and the middle.
The second Reaver of Dewalt should be out here, so I think the Reaver are equal. I think Bonyth might have a few more ground units here because they are same supply and he has less workers. But Dewalt had the high ground so far, but now he gave it up. So now this is Bonyth's chance to get close to the natural here and start an attack.
Yeah, this is going to decide everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird like terrains and blocks here, so we'll have to see how this gauging goes. The first 2 Reavers get dropped down from both. Oh, that was a beautiful pickup there from Bonyth. Oh, but both his Reavers go down. Still one alive for Dewalt. And who's going to take this? This is too close.
The Zealots are doing absolutely huge work for Bonyth. Those Zealots at the front are just eating so many Dragoon shots. Dewalt finally gets away with Zealots of his own. But I think it's the too few Dragoons left. I think Bonyth has this. He's just going to pick up all the Dragoons.
We'll see. I mean, Dewalt does have that shorter reinforcement. And we don't see any additional units coming across the map for Bonyth. Looks like Dewalt is going to hold maybe for now. But Bonyth's still pushing. He's going to get those Zealots,
So
this is that thing.
Yeah, one of the things that about Bonyth as a player is that his micro is the best in the Foreign Sea by far, but his macro isn't as good as his micro. His macro is really good, but whenever a fight goes down, Bonyth's money just goes through the roof. And it's a thing about him as a player that I mean, it's known. I don't think he would be upset about me for saying it, but if you look at the difference between him and Dewalt, they're both fighting for their lives. Bonyth is on 800 minerals, Dewalt's on 100 minerals.
Yeah.
Like Bonyth's out microing Dewalt, but at the same time the money just goes up.
But speaking of that, we have a bunch more units now coming out from Bonyth. Like you saw a bunch in his natural. He's regrouping and moving across, and I don't know if Dewalt's gonna have enough to hold this. Like you can see the army for Bonyth. He's 20 supply up, and some of that's even probes too for Dewalt. So that's even more army for Bonyth. So I think he's probably just gonna end up being able to bust him here, unless Dewalt can master a really good hold.
Yeah, Dewalt just has the one Reaver and he's building a shuttle, but the shuttle's not going to be there to help the Reaver in time. Oh, Bonyth has another 2 Reavers. This is done. 2 Reavers against 0 Reavers. Yeah.
First fight was fine, 2 against 2 Reavers, but now it's 2 against 0, and that's definitely game here for Dewalt.
Yeah, his army just got 2 split up there. It took too much damage. He's still trying to defend with that 1 Reaver, but I don't even think Snow could defend with 1 Reaver there. So, GG.
That was a great game.
It really was, yeah. It was nice to see. And it also ties our score up, right? So.
Dewalt didn't see the probe cut. And then he forfeited his high ground for 3. It was there was a moment when Bonyth decided that he was just going to go for his time and get 2 Reavers in a speed shuttle and just try and kill his opponent. And Dewalt, because he had that later robo, because his first observer died, which in PvP, if you lose your first observer, that just feels so bad. He didn't know that Bonyth was about to just try and go for the kill. He gave up the high ground, thinking that he didn't need the high ground to live, and then suddenly Bonyth is just on him. Beautiful timing.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for casting the game so far. The score is tied up, I believe, 1-1. We got 7 more games. The next one will be on a wonderful map featured in STPL Season 4 called Desert Dwellers by the same map maker Minerals from the United States. Some features include standard rush distance, big spine ramp in middle to dominate, neutral bases to fight over, ramp bridge chokes outside of natural, and bodies from previous battles littered around. Any comments about PvP on Desert Dwellers?
So it's an interesting map because you get 3 very quick bases in your own high ground area that's quite difficult for your opponent to pressure. They can either go up 2 narrow bridges to pressure from the middle of the map, or they have to go from the side and go across a like Fighting Spirit style bridge. It's definitely a macro map. However, speed shuttles can be dangerous on it because if you're defending one of the bridges at the front, your main gets exposed because the distance by ground is actually quite far. You have to go all the way back to your natural, then up past a wall, then back into your main. So it's both a macro map and it's a map where the speed shuttle harass is going to be very powerful. I think it's going to be a good game. I think they're both good speed shuttle players. It could go super macro and it could just be one player loses all their probes immediately.
Yeah, I've only seen one game on this map, and it wasn't even PvP. But looking forward to seeing some of these games. I kind of agree with what you're saying. I could see this like ending pretty quickly or getting into a long macro game. Like if both players can hold their high grounds, get up to 3 bases, then we could see definitely a lot of big fights going down in the middle, maybe somewhere on the map. But we could also see it end fairly quickly, like you said, with one Reaver just doing a bunch of damage or something. Just see how the players want to play it.
Yep, I don't think I have anything to add here. This high ground really plays a big role into the mid game.
Okay, let's get into Game 3 on Desert Dwellers. Big shout out to Tofu Cakes for donating $300 to this event last night, making a re-show match live on ladder maps in the future possible. And he is in the chat, and I want to graciously thank him.
Okay, we have Bonyth in the red in the top left and Dewalt in the blue at the top right. Now this is a 2-player map, so they both know their opponent's starting position. Distance by air is quite short. It's each of them has a natural below the main base, and then they have a third kind of pointing towards each other. So they are being driven to expand in this direction towards the opponent. There's a middle only between them at the top at 12 o'clock, which I don't think either of them are going to try and take because it's impossible to hold. And I'd be quite surprised if they actually progress down the map beyond their naturals, simply because it's PvP. It's going to be a short, ugly game with a bunch of Reavers.
Yeah, and all the expansions going down from their starting positions are very far on the side of the player, so the expansions on the right side are very far on the right and on the left the same. The only expansion that is, or the only 2 expansions are in the exact 12 o'clock position and 6 o'clock position. So if we go to a very late game and we get kind of like a split map scenario, those 2 expansions will be the deciding factor most probably.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it gets to that point. At the moment, neither player has opted to scout. We have seen both players scout early one game and later the other. Dewalt's just now going to send out his first probe. Seeing as this is a 2-player map, they know where they're spawning. Nothing wrong with scouting a little bit later, especially if you know you're going to be able to get into their base and just make sure what's going on.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we can see Dewalt's probe here going across the map, and Bonyth is still not scouting. Okay, now just leaves. I mean, you have to leave at some point around this time, so that you get into your opponent's base before that goon is out. You definitely want to do one check through the main base to see if he already started his tech, or basically to deny or to prevent him starting his tech too early.
So one thing to note is that Dewalt is skipping the safety zealot, Bonyth is not. We've seen this go back and forth. Game 1, Dewalt made the zealot, Bonyth didn't. Game 2,
Same thing.
Bonyth skipped it again. This time Bonyth is getting it.
Yeah, we did see him get punished with the Manor Pylon in game 2, so he's like, okay, 2-player map, I don't want to get that Manor Pylon again. He's going to go ahead and get the Zealot. And you can see he's even got it running through the mineral lines. He's kind of making sure, chasing that probe around. Whereas Bonyth's probe just got free reign for the moment, but he's going to have to get that out of there pretty soon, as the Dragoon from Dewalt should be done here.
Bonyth killed Dewalt's scout probe. There's a probe at the bottom of the mineral patch with 1 kill.
Oh no.
Yeah. So this is... And I think Bonyth is going to escape, but it's not a huge advantage that Dewalt's scout probe died early, but it does help that your opponent's blind. I don't think that Dewalt was able to confirm the Dragoon range.
Yeah, that's actually big if he couldn't confirm that, because now he doesn't know if Dragoon range is on the way, or if Bonyth skipped it for something else, like a faster DT or faster Robo. Faster Citadel to DT, I should say.
I don't know about Bonyth's 2-gate on this map, because I don't know how much you can pressure. If you look at the ramps going up, it's going to be tricky to do a 2-gate goon bust.
Interesting. Maybe he's hoping, because there's like a couple ways you can get up, right? Like maybe he's hoping to get onto the high ground before Dewalt notices and take a fight up there.
Yeah, if he goes through the 12 o'clock, he can get up the long way. And it's that is a quick robo from Dewalt, but Bonyth has the timing for him for sure. There is definitely a timing where the Viva's halfway done and Bonyth just killed him. Even just 2-gate against 1, that timing exists, and I think Bonyth is going for it. Oh, look at Bonyth's probe count. Yeah, Bonyth's going for the kill.
Oh yeah, he's already down 3 probes, and he killed one of Dewalt's as well, so it should be 4 to 5 probes here.
No, he lost his scout probe too.
Okay,
but, he's got the zealot. His opponent skipped it. He's got 2-gate. There is a timing here. There will be 4 Dragoons for Dewalt at the same time as there are 4 Dragoons and a zealot for Bonyth at the same place. It's going to come down to this micro.
They're both going to meet in the middle. Dewalt is going to pull back before he starts taking some hits here. He's going to be able to hold this high ground, but
Bonyth should take the long way around.
Like, Dewalt is going to be able to hold the high ground, but Dewalt expects him to go this way, so he's going to go to the high ground over here, and now Bonyth is just going to be able to get up the high ground close to him.
Oh, Dewalt, no, not like this.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate for him. Oh,
yeah, and with the zealot, there's just no way.
He just took a bad early fight there, yeah. This looks pretty bad for Dewalt.
And the robotic support bay is only just finishing. The Reaver's starting now. There's no chance. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, 2 more Dragoons coming up to kill that 1 Dragoon there from Dewalt as well. And yeah, Bonyth just has way too much more. He's going to pick off the shuttle and everything. Not that it's going to come into play. And Dewalt GG's out.
Actually, theory, the timing was 4 goons and a zealot versus 4 goons. You can say what you like in chat, but I mean, the game showed that I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, that was a fast game, and I feel like we have seen 2 games at least ending because one player moved their units out of position from their defensive high ground, or their defensive position. Dewalt going out on the map here, I mean, he took some hits, but then he just wasn't sure where to go. I mean, if he just stays in the natural, maybe he has a little bit better chance to hold it. But yeah, in general, he just got off guard there. Didn't know where his opponent comes in.
I thought that Bonyth should be going for the 12 o'clock. I thought that was the better route because you get to dodge the ramps. And then Dewalt was holding the top of them. Then Dewalt changed to start guarding the 12 o'clock entrance. That was close.
Yeah,
I felt like Bonyth
50-50.
was attacking. Bonyth was attacking from what I thought was the wrong angle. And then Dewalt agreed that would be the angle that Bonyth didn't attack from, and then Bonyth attacked from it anyway. It was...
Yeah, is that like the mind games going on there? Is it like, okay, well, Bonyth has to come from the 12 because he went through the 2-gate, right? So I'm going to go defend it, and then he just comes up the normal ramp. No, really good play, though. And then it just became a micro battle that easy for Bonyth to win that.
Okay, so the score is 2-1 for Bonyth. Same 3 maps will be played over and over again in this 9-game Showmatch series. So we are back to the map of Game 1 on Charmander.
Alright.
Get into it.
Well, this is the map Dewalt won first time. We'll see if he can win it again. Even this series back up.
And that was a quick 3-gate push by Dewalt with 2 zealots from the early game. And yeah, Bonyth just didn't have the units, and he was outside of his base in the natural, trying to micro a bit, but in the end losing a bit more, and then he couldn't hold his high ground. Let's see if they change up their strategy this time.
I think Dewalt's strategy was really good because with the double ramps on this map, 3-gate Goon is it's able to punish. Normally, if you get 3-gate Goon and they go on for any kind of 1-gate build, or even 1-gate with a delayed 2nd gate, they just hold the high ground, and you have enough units to beat their army, but you can't punish, you can't end the game there and then. On this map, with the ability to have Dragoons attacking from the other ramp, or you send the Zealots up one ramp, Dragoons up the other, I think you can punish much more effectively on this map than most with a 3-gate Goon. I really like the map strategy that Dewalt chose in Game 1.
We'll have to see if he goes for it again. Like Bonyth will be maybe expecting that a little bit more since Dewalt did it to him first time around. Maybe we'll see something heavier Dragoon style coming out of Bonyth here as well to try and match that. I don't know, neither player has scouted so far, of course. Just getting that pylon. I'm going to throw down their gateways here right away, and we'll see if either player wants to scout after gateway on this map once again, because it is 4-player, and they are sharing the same side of the map. Looks like both players are definitely going to scout here.
And this time Bonyth knows where the ramps are.
Yeah.
So we probably won't see another misscout from Dewalt.
Yeah. Both scouting the correct direction. Or
No, they're not.
Okay, Bonyth is changing his probe there. Let's get across around. Bit unfortunate. Doesn't quite get the see the probe of Dewalt in his trail vision either.
No, once he sees the probe in his base, he's going to know though because of the scout timing.
Yeah, he's gonna go cross map, I imagine, after he scouts this base.
We are seeing the exact same build from Dewalt as before. We are seeing the gateway pylon, so pylon, gateway, pylon. So he's going to go for the 2 zealot and then the quick gas again. And again, it's the same as Game 1, but Game 1 I liked it. Oh, and he's going for the mana pylon too. He's attacking that probe, but what he wants is that mana pylon spot.
Yeah, with the double minerals there.
Yeah,
See
if you
if
get that mana pylon spot, that is absolutely brutal. Oh, he's going for... Oh, Bonyth is too quick.
And as we predicted, Bonyth is definitely scouting cross map now, knowing the scout timing of Dewalt getting there so quickly, knowing he is probably cross or close to him.
And Bonyth is done with Dewalt's nonsense. No more mana pylons. It's too risky. Just places the anti-mana pylon, which is exactly what he should do.
And his probe sees that zealot coming across the map, so he should know he will have zealot pressure coming shortly.
Yeah. I like that Bonyth made the safety zealot this time. I think Game 1, one of the reasons that he was punished so hard was that there was nothing to stop the zealot just getting on top of his dragoons. This game, he's built his own zealot.
Oh, and going for the mana pylon himself. I think he got it off, right?
He did.
Oh,
Yes.
in the good spot, yeah.
Yeah, especially given the zealot is on the other side of the map. Like, Dewalt has attacked this with 5 probes right now, just to make sure it gets cleared. It's devastating.
Well, that's definitely nice. He's actually going to send his second zealot here back to help to try and clear that as well.
Yeah, Dewalt was doing the zealot probe micro, trying to kill probes, but all he lost was his probe. He's down 1 probe for his trouble. He hasn't got 0 kills so far.
And it looks like he's not going to get any. That just shows how good control is there from Bonyth. He does manage to clear that mana pylon, but that's definitely going to set Dewalt back a little bit here.
Yeah, this is definitely advantage Bonyth. He's about to lose his scout probe. No, he's going to get it back. Look at that timing on the scout probe running away versus the dragoon. He knows to the second when that dragoon's going to come out.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Look at that. Just getting away.
Yeah, but we can see Dewalt being ahead 1 probe, even 2 probes here. So is Bonyth cutting again? So is he intentionally cutting probes to get some additional gateways?
I don't think he is.
So.
No, I think he
Yeah.
just didn't make a probe. He missed a probe cycle while he was microing at the Zealot, and that
I
makes
think
sense.
so.
There was a lot going on, and he microed perfectly. So it's understandable that he would miss that. I think we're going to see a third gateway from Dewalt.
Both players actually this game.
Oh, no,
No,
okay, no, it's Bonyth.
Bonyth is
Bonyth.
going 3 gate.
He goes, you know what? That thing you killed me with, that was pretty strong.
I'm gonna try it this time, yeah.
Yeah.
Or we might still get the 3rd gate. He's got the probe sitting there. He might have just wanted that pylon first. Is that a gate or a robo or what is that?
It's a Robo he just started.
Okay, okay.
So what we saw Bonyth lose with in game 1 was gate, Robo, gate. What we're seeing Dewalt do is gate, gate, Robo, which is a much more defensive build. Observer's not as quick, but you have less chance of just losing straight up to a 3 gate. So I think Dewalt is doing the correct counter build here, and with a probe advantage as well. If Dewalt doesn't get caught on the low ground, the way Bonyth got caught game 1, I like Dewalt's position. I think his build order is better.
Yeah, we'll have to see. He will have to react quickly to Bonyth's push. He is sending a probe out here, hoping to maybe get some information, see that push coming across, but Bonyth, quite aware of that, right on top of it, managed to snipe that probe. So he's not going to really get any further information on what Bonyth is planning here.
He did confirm the Dragoon range though. One of the advantages of that particular scout timing is that you get to see the Dragoon shoot your probe from range, and that tells you at the very least there was no range cancel into like DT drop or something.
There was also one more Dragoon compared to his own Dragoon count, so he scouted 4 Dragoons with that scout probe, and while he only had 3 Dragoons out. So that could tip him off guard, but so far he's still sitting in the natural with a lot less units compared to Bonyth, so I'm a bit scared here. I would really love
he needs to be on the high ground.
Yeah, okay, he scouts it with his Dragoon, he needs to back up immediately, and he does. Oh no, he's gonna try and engage this just like Bonyth did it against him, but he got the first couple of Dragoon picks here, going very nicely for him.
Yeah, he's killed 3 Dragoons for 2 so far, but now he's going to lose and get punished on the retreat.
Okay, he does hold his high ground here. Bonyth has got 3 more Dragoons coming out. Is he going to try and push up here? Looks like Dewalt's sending one of his Dragoons to kind of scout and see if there's a contain going on or something. A little bit risky. He could lose that Dragoon for free doing that, but we'll have to see. He's got the shuttle out. I imagine he's getting a Reaver right away here to follow it up.
Yeah, one thing is that second gateway before the robotics, definitely you can see the difference here in the defending. Oh,
Yeah,
but now
save
he's
him.
going out again. Let's see.
Oh no.
That was the
No.
mistake there.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, he didn't know if it was 2 gate Yun or 3 gate Yun. It's he knew that Bonyth would never do this attack without 2 gate, but he didn't know if it was 3 gate.
Yeah, and then Dewalt GG's. I mean, if he had stayed up his ramp and waited for the Reaver, he would have been fine. He would have been able to defeat this push, but now he moved down, he got punished for it. And
Yeah.
Bonyth takes, what, a 3-1 lead now?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get into a Goon micro situation with Bonyth. You want to get a build order advantage and then create a situation where he can't win pure Goon micro. Because, like, Bonyth's Dragoons, they just do, like, they fire from the hip. They move, they fire, they move, they fire. There's no downtime. You can't retreat against them. If you retreat against them, he's just going to kill half of them on the way back. If you don't retreat, you're going to lose all of them. If you're taking a
very
goon fight with
unfortunate.
Bonyth, you have to have enough goons to win that fight, because if you can't get out of it.
we saw 2 games now being lost because the player with less goons moves down the ramp. I really hope they stay up in their defending main base a bit more. I mean, yes, he maybe didn't know that it was 3 gate, but why risk it is the question. He was waiting for his Reaver anyways. He could just wait a few more seconds for his Reaver and then move out, I think. So a little bit unsafe here, but yeah, a very nice micro by Bonyth, and he punishes Dewalt for it.
Yeah, so he had that slight unit advantage from killing that first Zealot, but the Zealot did absolutely nothing. Didn't kill a single probe. Like, that's that matters. With one less Zealot later on is one of the reasons that Bonyth was able to punish so hard in that goon fight. Because at the start of the goon fight, Dewalt actually got the upper hand. Dewalt killed 3 Dragoons for 2. But then the Zealot made it up onto his units and he had to start retreating. It was a
Okay.
very close fight.
Scores 3-1 for Bonyth?
3-1 for Bonyth.
To all the unbelievers, is he going to shut out Dewalt?
Nah, I think Dewalt's going to get some more games in here. He's got it right. I really hope Dewalt takes this game. Make this a closer series again.
Okay. Well, the next game is on Blindside.
Okay, we are on Blindside again. At the top we see Dewalt in blue and Bonyth at the bottom in red. So, last game, that was our longest game, I believe, so far in the show match. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, they're in the same spawning positions they were last time they played this map. We'll see if they go for similar strategies or they want to mix it up. I think we saw Bonyth scout earlier than Dewalt on this map. See if he does that again, or if they both opt for maybe a little bit later scout, just because of the slightly longer rush distance, but also because they know where their opponent has spawned.
And so far, no big surprises. Nobody brave enough to go for a proxy here so far in the show match. Both players just trusting in their normal abilities and playing pretty standard here.
I don't know if you can go for a proxy against someone like Bonyth. He'll just out micro you. But maybe he could
Maybe
try
Bonyth
proxy.
does that.
Yeah.
Do very high level players proxy in PvP?
I think it's useful just to mix it up, just to make your opponent aware that you can and will proxy them. Because otherwise they will start doing things that they shouldn't, like skipping the Zealot. And if you look at what Dewalt's doing, he's actually just doing a sweep of his base. He goes, okay, this is a 2-player map. I want to make sure there's no proxy 9-9 inside my base, because it could happen.
Yeah. We did kind of see him scout for that last time on this map as well. Kind of checking towards the third when he saw Bonyth's probe come in. Looks like he's not going to do it this time, but both opting to scout again to Bonyth with a little bit earlier scout, Dewalt slightly later, but it's not going to make too much of a difference here for either player.
Now, if Dewalt skips the Zealot again, then I'm expecting that Bonyth can punish with a pylon.
We have seen that happen a couple of times in this series so far, so let's see. Looks like Bonyth is not starting to sell it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it is possible to deny the mana pylon of course with your own probes instead of needing the zealots, but you have to be very aware of that and always pay attention to that probe. And of course you also lose some mining time. For example, now you can see that the probe is also harassing the
Bonyth
gas
has almost got a probe. Yeah, it's on 6 HP. He just same probe over and over. He just loops to the simulator and then attacks the same one. But he can't risk going in again, I think. He knows which one it is, but it's so risky if he goes with that.
Yep. Meanwhile, Bonyth did kill Dewalt's scouting probe with a couple of his own probes in his base, so a bit unfortunate there for Dewalt losing his scouting probe early again.
Yeah, and that could be a reason or a consequence of not getting the zealot himself, because Bonyth harassed his scouts, his gas probes, so he had to pay attention to his gas probe, and in that moment he lost his own probe on the other side. So yeah, skipping that safety zealot can hurt you.
Alright, both players did skip it here. We saw them do this, I think, last game on Blindside as well, just because it's the longer rush distance, right? They feel a little bit safer without getting it, I suppose. But we'll have to see where they want to go from here. Is Bonyth going to do something like a cut, or is he going to do something like a proxy here?
Yep, it's going to be a robo.
Yep, it's going to fly something into the base here.
I'm assuming it's going to be Reaver Rush with Elevator.
Yep.
I'm definitely rooting for the scout proxy.
Stargate flies in with a scout, kills all the probes, it's all good.
He just wants that 6 HP.
He's doing it all just to get the 6 HP.
It's gateways.
3 of them?
I don't know, this is
wow.
actually especially close than building them at your natural. This is...
Yeah, because he's got to
This is
go
a
all the
long
way
way.
around. I thought for sure that was going to be a robo, because it's so short by air there, but...
It's 4-gate Goon. I mean, this is going to be devastating. Because the only choke that Dewalt can possibly hold against 4-gate Goon is the one between his main and his Nat. But there's no reason that he would try and take that. He's going to try and hold his natural, and by the time he realizes that it's 4-gate Goon with triple Proxy Gate, he's going to be 2 Goons down. It's going to be... He can hold this, but he can only hold this with map hack.
Yeah.
I mean, he did go around his base last game, I think, on this map.
Oh, these 3 Goons pressure. If these 3 Goons pressure... Oh, he's going to get bonus, he's going to get damage on the Dragoon, and now he has damage on the Dragoon, he can keep going, because why would he ever stop? And he's going to be like, wait a second, there's no Dragoons in bonus space. This is weird. I still think he's gonna push too far, but this smells weird for Dewalt. He's got to look at this and think, wait a second, where are bonus Dragoon? Because they're not where they should be.
But is he going to be able to sniff out the proxy? Probably not. And he's just losing his Dragoons here. I think this. Look at this. Bonyth's got 5 Dragoons heading straight for Dewalt's base right now.
Yeah, he got. So far, he's killed 2 Dragoons with his first 3, and his third one's still alive. It's about to die. Okay, now he knows what's up. Now is the moment where you're like, oh shit, I've lost the game.
Yeah. That's very unfortunate, but it's going to be a commanding lead for Bonyth in this series. Like, how can he hold this? Is that a battery put down?
Gateway, but he was banking a bunch of minerals for Nexus, and now it's 2. He didn't even have the gateways down.
Yeah. Pulling a bunch of probes, but it's not going to be enough, really. 1 Dragoon against 4.
The Reaver's basically done, but it's not going to matter, as you say.
A little too late. So nice timing here from Bonyth, though. And I mean, it works, right? Nothing Dewalt can really do. He's trying his hardest. He does not want to lose any more games here, but I think he's going to lose this one. Reaver does get a shot off, so he does kill all the Dragoons in his base, but there's 3 more coming in right now.
That and the probe count. The damage is already done.
Okay, GG. Yeah. So Dewalt scouted around the map in the first time, and he didn't find anything. I'm not sure if he did it this time, but the important part is Bonyth made his proxy gates far enough away. So even if Dewalt scouts around his main 4 proxies, he would not scout those 3 gates because they are so far away. So very nice execution here by Bonyth.
So I'm looking at Bonyth's first person. He's watching the replays for every game. Game 1, he watched the replay. He saw where Dewalt scouted, which means that I think he chose his proxy location based on the fact that he knows what Dewalt's scout pattern for proxies is from the fact that they played this map earlier in the series.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. Nice.
Okay, I want to give a big shout out to YouTubeable, who donated $50 to this wonderful Showmatch series. Big shout out to Tofu Cake, donated $300. Ear B84, Damn Funk, CRVT donated $250. The Mapmaker donated as well, and Sean Lee, Kwark, Jtran, aka Banana TQ, and myself. Thank you all. The prize is over $950 right now. Every single game win is worth money. So, Kwark, being our accountant, how much has Bonyth stacked up for himself?
About $540 so far, I think. Wait, so no, 440. He's up 4-1, right? Yeah, it's
I believe that's...
Yeah, this is game 6. Okay, yeah, $440, give or take. The score is Bonyth 4, Dewalt 1. Dewalt won game 1, and Bonyth has taken the 4 games following it.
The best scoreboard is the chat. That's our philosophy here at Team Think Quick Team. Next map is Desert Dwellers, made by the American Mapmaker Mims. Let's get into it.
And as somebody who remembers the boudoir scene in the mid-2000s, you would have gotten so spoiled, wanting to know things like scores. Back in my day, the event started 2 hours late, and you found out what was happening by somebody who was there, who was tweeting about, blogging about it on LiveJournal or something.
Thank you, Kwark.
And then you got photos 2 days later, and if you were lucky, somebody would upload a torrent. Now you have to ask in chat to find out what the score is. What a bunch of spoiled kids. Gonna have my old man moment.
Times definitely have changed here.
In the top right, Russian Cyber Games 2020 champion, needs no introduction, playing for IRK, we have Dewalt. In the top left, we have the champion of BSL Seasons 8, 9, and 10, and the winner of Russian Cyber Games 2019, also known as the Corrupted Cup, Bonyth, in this champion vs. champion 9-game Showmatch series. Battle for Aiur, dedicated to all the Protoss fans and players.
Well, I'm interested to see what they go for here this time, because we were talking about it before last game, like something like 2-gate might not be as good because you can just hold up in your high ground here, but we saw Bonyth do that and he just kind of tricked Dewalt and went up and killed him with 2-gate. So Dewalt is obviously going to have that in the back of his mind, like, oh, is Bonyth going to do this again? And
Well, that game Dewalt skipped the Zealot. 1-gate with Zealot is much stronger than 1-gate skipping the Zealot. If you skip the Zealot, you have less units because there's an entire production cycle on the gateway that you miss while the core's building. Bonyth didn't just go 2-gate, he went 2-gate plus the Zealot, whereas Dewalt went 1-gate no Zealot, and that's why Bonyth had that 4 Dragoon plus Zealot timing against 4 Dragoons no Zealot.
yeah, we'll have to see if he makes any adjustments. Maybe Dewalt will get that Zealot this time.
If he got a faster second gate, it would have been fine too, but he left himself open to that timing. And I think the fact that also Bonyth killed Dewalt's scout probe using one of his own probes last game. That meant that the second gateway just wasn't scouted. Okay, so this time, yeah, Dewalt is making the safety Zealot, and I like that he's doing that. Whereas Bonyth is doing it the other way around.
Yeah, Bonyth is not getting the Zealot this time, that's right.
I think it's quite interesting that they're both favouring builds used by the other player.
Like, you did this last time, I'll do it this time.
Yeah, it's
Happened a few times, yeah.
That build you used, I actually think the build that you used was better. I'm gonna just take that one.
It's mostly been paying off for Bonyth, though.
This time they both still have their scout probes alive, so I don't think there's any chance of a quick 2-gate catching the opponent off guard.
Yeah.
Bonyth was actually attacking with his probe while the Zealot was almost about to kill him, just showing off his micro abilities.
Does he know the Dragoon timing to the second? Of course he does. Look at that.
Yeah.
I think Bonyth's played this game once or twice before.
Just once or twice, though. Right. Well, both players get out with their probes anyway.
Yeah, so far I think we have no tech started for both players. Ah, okay, there we go with the second gate for Bonyth here. And Dewalt is looking for the robotics here, so we have the first divergence here.
So Dewalt is down 1 probe, and he's going to stay down 1 probe because of the missed probe cycle, because of the safety setup with the 1717 supply block. He's always going to be down that 1 probe, and although Bonyth is down the Zealot, Bonyth can build as fast a second gateway and adapt. He can catch up.
We do see that he did go for that second gateway already.
Yeah,
Whereas
that's
Dewalt
very
went
disciplined
for
by
the
Bonyth. He knows that if he doesn't get the quicker second gateway, he can be punished for not having a Zealot, so he just builds it early.
Okay, and Dewalt is sitting in his natural, so the 2 gates of Bonyth could maybe be used for an attack against Dewalt right before the Reaver's out. But I think with the 2 gate against the 1 gate, I think if Dewalt is sitting on his high ground, it will be fine if he sees the army this time.
That and the Zealot makes a difference. It's 2 gate no Zealot against 1 gate with Zealot. Last time when Bonyth won the game with his 2 gate, it was the other way around. It was 2 gate plus Zealot against 1 gate no Zealot.
Yeah, and it was an earlier 2 gate as well, so the danger is definitely not the same in this game. So Dewalt is fine sitting in his natural.
Bonyth thinks it's DT.
Building in the top left of Dewalt's base.
Observatory. Well, Bonyth thinks it's DT. Bonyth is doing like the strongest anti-DT build you can do.
Interesting. Now that you mention it, neither player has actually gone for any kind of DT build yet in this series. So maybe he's thinking it's time someone's going to do it, and he's trying to prepare for it, or blind prepare for it. I mean, he does have the 4-1 lead, so obviously these players want to win every game, not just win it, 5-4, just because every game is worth money to them. But yeah, he just wants to make sure he's not going to die to something silly. Maybe that's why we're not seeing DTs as well. You don't want it to just get countered.
As Dewalt, he's going to take and hold this faster expansion. His Reaver's halfway done. Dewalt's build is better. Bonyth is playing a very defensive build here. He's gone for the a bunch of Dragoons on the high ground. He's got a quick Observer. If he picks off Dewalt's Observer, that's going to be huge, and I think he's going to.
Yeah.
Oh, Dewalt turns.
Very quick turnaround there, but he's going to chase it down. But looks like he's going to be able to get away.
Okay. Dewalt is in great shape here. He's gotten away with a 1-gate Robo Expand. If he holds this ramp and the Reaver comes out, okay, there's like a 20-second timing on Bonyth where he has to attack in it. Okay, no, he's not even going to hold the ramp. He's going to just put the Reaver in his pocket behind the Dragoons. I like that. I like that positioning a lot.
Yeah, Bonyth is going to try and get it, but I don't think he'll be able to. If he can pick off the Reaver right away, then maybe. But
he can't. If he goes forward, the Dragoons are going to come forward and meet him. And the shield battery.
Shield battery's there too, so Dewalt should be perfectly fine now. So definitely in a nice position here for Dewalt, getting that Expo up quickly. We can just see Bonyth only just started his a little while ago here.
That timing was so narrow. Bonyth, if Dewalt's units had been too far forward, Bonyth could have gotten a good engage, killed so many units that the Reaver didn't matter. But Dewalt, so disciplined, just as the Reaver comes out, he moves back, he surrounds the Reaver, he puts it in a position where the Dragoons can't get onto it. This is a high-level PvP. They are both aware of exactly what timings the other player has.
You also have to remember that Dewalt, when he scouted with his Observer, he had to turn around because Bonyth's Observer was there ready to catch Dewalt's Observer. So Dewalt was not able to fly into the main and check the gateway count or the natural or anything as fast as he would like to. So he had to play a bit more defensive and stay in his natural and get the chain battle.
Oh, he picked off his Observer.
Yeah, he went for the Observer scout and lost his own Observer.
But he is going to be able to push Bonyth back here with those two Reavers. Doesn't want to engage that and lose his whole army. Get a little bit more breathing room there for Dewalt.
So Dewalt's going defensive too. He just pumped out 2 Reavers just to defend the quick Nexus. Bonyth is going shuttle speed. Bonyth actually wants to turn this into a Reaver game, and he's going to do so more aggressively. It's kind of interesting. The player who rushed out the Reavers, he's okay now. Dewalt is also getting shuttle speed. I like shuttle speed on this map. I think the distances by air aren't that long, and I think that it's very difficult to defend the mineral-only third and also the main, because if you have to move the units back into the main, you have to go all the way back through the natural, then back around. I think with shuttle speed, you can do so much harass on this map.
We see Dewalt trying to get that Reaver there of Bonyth, or not Reaver, sorry, Observer. Looks like he will be able to pick that off. Just make him blind, so he doesn't know if he is deciding to push out onto the map or not. We can see that he probably should not push out onto the map, but well, we'll have to see. Looks like Bonyth has gone up to 4 gateways, and Dewalt is still on 3, but it looks like he's adding 2 more just now.
Dewalt should kill that shield battery. It's hurting his gas mining.
Oh no, so it is, yeah.
Okay, so Dewalt's going up to 6 gate. So far, even though Dewalt took the faster expansion, Bonyth has had the supply lead throughout. However, with Dewalt's expansion kicking in earlier, this 6 gate is going to be where the supply lead flips around.
And he's in position here to try and defend Bonyth pushing up here.
Yeah, but this is why Bonyth got the speed shuttle. And Dewalt is ready for it. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was nice. 3 Dragoons in the main.
This is exactly what Bonyth did on Blindside. Bonyth had a standoff with Dewalt's army, with both armies having Reavers. But because Bonyth had the speed shuttle, he just flips them around, goes a short distance across the wall into the main, and then as Dewalt responds, the Reavers come straight back.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play though. Dewalt fully aware that this is a possibility, having those Dragoons ready.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in this position, I wouldn't have had those Dragoons in my main, and I would just take a bunch of damage or have to pull my probes. But yeah, very nice play, very high level play here.
Yeah, because he couldn't move his army to respond to the Reavers, because if he did so, Bonyth's army would just pounce on him. He had to have those Dragoons in place, ready, against the possibility Bonyth did that. And he's just like, yeah, I know this is a possibility. I'm just gonna have the counter ready. Beautiful.
Yeah. Looks like we even have a third Reaver there from Dewalt. And he also pushed back the shuttle when he tried to fly into his natural, so definitely playing very aware here. I don't know if he thinks like there's a big attack coming from Bonyth, and that's why he got the third Reaver, or okay, this is why it looks like he wants to use it to go and harass himself now.
Yeah, one speed shuttle harassing, one shuttle with Reavers defending. I like it. And if you look at Bonyth's positioning, not as disciplined. He doesn't have a pylon at the top. He doesn't have an observer. This speed shuttle is going to do a lot of work.
Yeah, he's not going to have too much advance warning that this is coming in. He's only going to see it once it gets into his actual base here.
Yeah, this is a mistake by Bonyth. Bonyth's play isn't as disciplined as Dewalt's, I think, and this is showing now.
Oh, he still doesn't notice it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Look at the probe count all of a sudden.
I'm watching Bonyth's first person, and he didn't see it until the probes were already dead. He was microing it as natural.
Well,
we could see Dewalt harassing Bonyth's army with one Reaver at this high ground there, and that caught
triple
the
shuttle!
attention of Bonyth.
Triple shuttle drop at Bonyth's Dewalt's base.
Oh, Dewalt's money is getting up there a little bit too. But Bonyth knows he has to basically go all in here with all the probes he lost. He has to kill Dewalt or he's dead, right? He can't catch up economically after that. I don't think he's going to do it. There's just so much here.
And he's killed the Reavers at the front though.
Oh, he did. He just did, but he doesn't have enough. Dewalt has way too much.
He had to go all in. He lost too many probes, but
yeah. GG. All right, nice play there from Dewalt, taking another game. It's always nice to see.
And I think this shows the difference in the discipline between the two players. Bonyth, he's got really cool builds. He's got amazing micro. He's a favorite against like any other player. I love Bonyth. He's amazing. But Dewalt, he does that pylon ring. He has the right units at the right point. He knows how to play it. He just has his checklist, and he goes down the checklist and he wins the game. Like, there's a discipline difference between the two of them, where Dewalt doesn't make that kind of mistake. Bonyth didn't see the Reaver's speed shuttle coming in because he didn't have the scouting pylons, he didn't have the observer.
And it kind of goes back to what we mentioned at the beginning. Like, if you want to copy a Protos's builds and stuff and get better at the game, Dewalt's the guy to follow. Like, he dots the T's, crosses the T's, dots the I's, and everything, right? Like, he's just on top of every little part of the game, and you could see it play out there, and that's how he got that win, right?
Yeah,
he was more disciplined than Bonyth.
It was just all so technically correct. Everything he was doing, it was the right thing to be doing.
Yeah, nice game. So that brings our score to 4-2, I think.
Yes, sir. And the next game is on Charmander. Let's go.
Okay, so Charmander is the map that we saw definitely the shortest games on. Both games we saw on Charmander were very short. The first one was the shortest of the series, I think, but also the second game we saw on this map was lost because the player with less units decided to go into his natural. So will we see a repeat of that once again, or will they play a bit more conservative, a bit more defensive this time?
There is a key difference this time at their cross map, so the rush distance is going to be a little bit longer. Like we saw both of the games here, they played very Dragoon heavy, and the player who had more Dragoons just ended up running over the player that had less Dragoons. Makes sense, right?
No, the player
here
with
with the
more
longer rush
Zealots
distance.
Yeah, it's the Zealots winning the Dragoon fight.
Yeah, well, tanking the extra damage and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But here with cross map, that buys them a little bit more time to maybe defend something like that. So we'll have to see. Maybe that'll come in factor if one of these players wants to go for something aggressive like the 3-gate again.
Yeah, 3-gate has won both times on this map. Each player's done it once, and each player's been rewarded once. Bonyth played a riskier opening game one when he lost. Dewalt played a safer opening, but he, as was said, he came down from the ramp into the 3-gate goon, and even though he tried to back out the moment he realized it was 3-gate goon, he just takes so much fire from the moving shots. Bonyth's Dragoons do not let you escape. He will just kill you with them.
Yeah, do not try and get into any kind of micro battle against Bonyth. You will not end up on top.
Okay, and we have both players playing the standard build so far. Both players taking their gases. So we saw the 2 Zealot 1 Goon build by Dewalt. I think both games. I
Yeah.
think both games on Charmander we saw the 2 Zealot 1 Goon build. This time we see both players taking the gas before the second pylon. So both players going for that early Goon here. We have to see if they still get that safety Zealot we talked about a lot or not. But so far, yeah, completely mirror builds.
Well, Dewalt hasn't really been rewarded for that quick Zealot. Game 1, he rushed the wrong base site with his Zealot before core. And then game 2, he rushed the right base site, and then Bonyth just microed and killed it. It's at a certain point you got to think, well, the first Zealot it's got to be a defensive Zealot because I can't get any value from the aggressive one.
All right, Probe's meeting there just outside this base, so once Dewalt confirms Bonyth isn't here, he should know he's in the top, and Bonyth should know that he's here. Dewalt's here in bottom left.
Question is it going to get the mana pylon?
In the very good spot.
Yeah, because Bonyth got the mana pylon in the second game on this map.
Yeah, but this time the difference is
look at that
players
ramp.
have the Zealot here.
He does manage to sneak that probe in. That's kind of cool.
Bonyth, so Dewalt is mis-scouting.
Again. Oh no.
Wow.
It's not quite as heartbreaking as game 1 where he scouted the right base site
Yeah.
and didn't know, but he's going to be playing because it's completely blind. And Dewalt, again, for the 2 gateways, I wouldn't be surprised at the third one. Because Bonyth has seen in Dewalt's base. Bonyth knows there's a Dragoon range coming. He's not super afraid of DT Rush. He's going to go 3-gate Goon and then a Robo, in my opinion.
We'll have to see. I wonder what made Dewalt scout cross there, because he saw the probe. Did he think that probe went cross or something? Did he think Bonyth scouted earlier than he did?
They were meeting not exactly at the same time. I think Bonyth's probe was moving out of that bottom right.
Oh, the surround on the
position.
Dragoon, holy shit. Oh, Dewalt's so smart. Bonyth is so smart too. Bonyth had... Is he going to see the 2-gate?
Oh, that Dragoon's
I
trying to block
see
it.
it. That was like the most high-level micro. So Bonyth knew Dewalt's Dragoon was crossing the map, so Bonyth looped his Dragoon around to come from behind. However, Dewalt knew that Bonyth looped, and so Dewalt's Dragoon then went down the same loop itself, throwing Bonyth's Dragoon away, getting the probe in.
These are the little things you don't notice unless you're like high-level players yourself. Like that's just such good play, such high-level play.
Yeah, I can observe it. I can have my mind blown by it, but like I would never think to do that. I would think to like try and get the Dragoon from behind, but
You wouldn't think that Dewalt like, oh, he did that, and then I'm gonna escape this way, right? Like, yeah, no, I'm totally with you there. These two are just on such a high level.
And it wouldn't even work against a lower level player because it was Bonyth's really smart play with the looping Dragoon that let the probe in. They're playing on their own like superhuman meta.
Yeah, it's really fantastic to watch.
Okay, let's take a look at the builds now. We have both players with 2 gates. Pro cons almost is the same. Supply is pretty much the same, and both players have the robotics. So, yeah, we see a pretty mirrored game. So I don't think this game will end as early as the first 2 on this map.
Yeah, both players playing very conservative here. So expect to see them possibly go up to an expansion into Reavers here, or Reaver expand up to gamers.
Oh, okay. Dewalt trapped his probe when he built his support bay, cancelled his support bay, rebuilt his support bay, probe is still trapped. That has cost him 150 50 minerals, 33 gas, and his probe is still trapped.
Oh, that's heartbreaking to see.
Yeah, and he's going to get to that with his shuttle, so I don't know that he even should have cancelled. He should have kept it there because he's going Reaver shuttle anyway. But I mean, that's got to be tilting. I know that when that happens to me, I'm just done with the game. Not even that particular one game. I'm done with StarCraft.
Just quit for the day. It's like, no, I'm done.
You could definitely slide another probe in that gap, and then you have 2 in the gap, and then you could slide them both out. That would be the next level move there.
Oh, he doesn't catch the observer this time. Dewalt's observer must have seen Bonyth's army moving by, but Bonyth missed the observer.
Well, he's still moving across the map. Just trying to poke in, see what Dewalt has. See if he can take a fight or not.
I think I like Dewalt moving back here. His Reaver is just finished, but it's slow Reaver. He's just pulling back so he can get the engagement with the Reaver.
Which he will have now if
Bonyth is checking everything with the observer, so I don't think he will engage into that. He knows that the units amount are about the same, plus Dewalt has a Reaver, so nothing is happening here, and Bonyth instead is going for that extension.
Yeah,
And
I like
Dewalt
Bonyth's build here. I like the pressure, because he didn't actually have a unit advantage, but by moving across the map, he postured in a very threatening way, and that forced Dewalt to pull back and then build a second Reaver before Nexus, whereas Bonyth went Reaver Nexus Shuttle. It's
not a
he gets
huge
the
advantage,
fast-
but it's a slight advantage. So.
Yeah, and it's the little things that add up.
Exactly. You know, a bunch of those little things happen during the game, and all of a sudden you can find yourself in a victorious position. So we'll have to see if that comes into play here. A little lead for Bonyth maybe, but nothing that Dewalt certainly cannot come back from.
And Observer got picked off by Dewalt here, so Bonyth Observer is down. So will he rebuild that Observer to get that scout information, or will he get some more Reavers?
Oh, I don't know about
like,
this.
No,
I
I
don't know about this
I
at
hate
all.
it. This is not the play.
Oh no.
No, it's definitely not.
He's gonna lose the shuttle, he's gonna lose the Reaver too, all his Dragoons, like
And
this
the
is really
Scarab
good
bug,
for
that
Dewalt.
Scarab bug forever. Yeah, they both had 2 Reavers and a shuttle, but Bonyth had 1 Reaver, 1 shuttle at the front, 1 Reaver is natural, whereas or 1 Reaver just
Yeah, the shuttle.
finished, yeah.
The shuttle was not there for Dewalt, so that's maybe what
2
triggered
Reavers
Bonyth
against
to
1.
attack.
You don't attacking 2 Reavers into 1. You have to have like the most perfect shuttle micro to make your 1 Reaver do better than 2 Reavers.
And if anyone could do it, I guess you would say it would be Bonyth, but
Yeah, and this is one of the things I was talking about before the game started, is that Bonyth does things that are like strategically, you look at them and you go, I don't know about this, and then he wins, and you're like, okay, well I guess he knows what he's doing. Because Bonyth's micro is on such a different level that there are things that you shouldn't do that he does, and then they just work.
yeah,
But in
because he
this
can do
case,
it.
he didn't get rewarded for it because Dewalt had the control to handle it. Oh, I don't know. I think this is not going to go well for Bonyth. He's going to just deliver haymakers.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
gonna get
Reaver's
the shuttle,
down.
which is nice, but
Now
yeah.
it's 2 against 0, and that should be the game already, I think.
Well, he picked off both Reavers, which is definitely nice for him. He can potentially hold this still, but he is gonna take a lot of damage here.
Yeah, holding this
Yeah,
isn't enough. He's down, what, 6 probes?
And he's also not mining from his natural during all of this.
Yeah, and he's getting the Dragoon upper hand too. This is huge for Dewalt. I don't think there's any way he can lose from here. Like, there are players
we've
who
seen
can
the
throw
high
it like
level.
this. Dewalt is not one of them.
Hmm.
Exactly. Both players are on such a high level that even very small differences make such a big deal. And now we have a 7 probe advantage by Dewalt, and that's not only a small difference, that's a huge difference. And it's really Dewalt's game to lose from here.
Yeah, well, he's still mining from his natural during all this as well, where Bonyth is not. Like, Bonyth is just trying to live, trying to survive here. He does have the Reaver, so he's not going to necessarily die right here, but he's put himself so far behind that I don't think Dewalt can necessarily lose. Like, Bonyth is going to have to do some kind of amazing counter damage with his Reaver or something
And,
just to get
yeah,
back in this.
And Bonyth knows it. That's why he just grabs the speed shot and crosses the map, because he
And
knows
so
that
does
he has to
Dewalt.
go
Look at
all in.
this.
Yeah,
Dewalt knows it too.
No.
Oh my.
Yeah. Bonyth knows that surviving's not good enough. He has to get a killing blow right now, and Dewalt is he's exactly on the same page. Just immediately blind counters it. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Pulling his Dragoons to catch that shuttle is so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 more Reavers flying across now for Dewalt. Is this going to be the finishing blow?
I think that it has to be. There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 4 Gate Goon against 2 Gate Goon. Actually, no, they both have 4. My bad. The Dewalt's, I think, were faster though. 12 probe difference.
Yeah, and the Reaver's not even here for Bonyth. Dewalt's Reavers are
he's gonna
getting
lose
the
all
shot
the Dragoons
off, and
for.
oh, Dewalt loses the Reaver, but yeah, he just has way more units and the shuttle to micro, and now Bonyth have nothing left.
Gotta pull again. Looks like he wants to try and defend or fight this off a little bit longer, but this is just even trading here is just so good for Dewalt at this point.
And he's dodging the Dragoon shot with the Shadow. It's...
Very nice control, very nice play.
Yeah, he's just flexing at this point. He's just like, you gotta try and kill my Weaver? Nah.
He's just like, get out, scrub. No. Oh, he does lose his Reaver and Shuttle there, trying to kill some probes. But it's not going to matter. He's just got so many Dragoons here, he's going to kill the natural.
The Reaver and Shuttle pulled all the Dragoons back into Bonyth's main, at which point Dewalt takes this concave position using the Nexus to create chokes. And it doesn't even matter that he's lost the Reaver. The Dragoon arc there is so good.
Well, GG. Good to see Dewalt win the last two here and get this a lot closer series. 4-3 in Bonyth's favor now. Dewalt's coming back.
Yeah, and it's the issues that we talked about before. I'm really happy that Bonyth's losing in this particular way rather than losing because he gets out microed or something. But it's the lack of discipline, because Dewalt's discipline is perfect and Bonyth's discipline is like 99% perfect. There was missing pylons the game before last. And then that game where Bonyth does something that isn't strategically, it's not the correct play, but because he's got his own little meta where he does so many things that are weird, but his micro is so good that he just pulls them off. He just thought, okay, I can attack more Dragoons with less Dragoons and 2 Reavers with 1 Reaver because I'm just going to micro my Shuttle and win. And he's not wrong to think that way, because so often it just works. You just watch Bonyth attack more with less and he just wins. You're like, okay, yeah, you can attack more with less. That's the right decision.
It'll work for lesser players for sure, but someone against Dewalt's caliber, he's going to have the control to be able to defend that and hold it off. So,
any last predictions?
Yeah.
Who you guys think is going to win this?
I want to see Dewalt win just to get up to a 4-4 tie.
Yeah, I do want Dewalt to win this game, and I did predict that Bonyth was going to win the series 5-4, I believe.
Yeah, I also stand by my first prediction, but yeah, I really hope this game is the one that Dewalt will win, and then Bonyth takes the last one.
All right. Let's go into game 8.
By the way,
Go ahead, MasterRey. I'm sorry.
I just want to say one last thing for all the new aspiring Protoss players out there who are not at the very high level yet. I think one thing that we can definitely learn from that last game is don't attack into a small choke against 2 Reavers. So
Yeah.
most of the time a bad idea, so just because you see Bonyth doing it, please don't do it yourself.
Yeah, you're not Bonyth. And you saw Bonyth get punished for it in this case. So. All right, Blindside.
Let's go.
All right, well, spawning in the top here, we have our red Protoss, Bonyth. And then in the bottom of the map, we have our blue Protoss, who won the last 2 games, Dewalt. So they did switch sides this time. I remember Dewalt had the top both times last 2 times here. So yeah, I have to see, is Bonyth going to try something tricky again, like the proxying 3-gate for 4-gate Goon, or what? What do you guys think?
I think that build he did was a response to picking up the scout probe early, which was a response to getting that really good probe OS. I don't know if he necessarily planned to do that. It might have been in the back of his head as a build that he had available, but I mean, when you kill the scout probe early, suddenly cheeses become much more of a factor.
A more realistic possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely not an early proxy here. Both players just placing their pylon, but I mean the proxy of Bonyth last time was a bit later after the first gates.
I think Bonyth is going to try and play this one the way he played the first one, because he tried to play Desert Dwellers the same way. This map, like Desert Dwellers, has a high ground that the opponent wants to hold, but if they hold that, then the main becomes exposed because of the very long distance by ground between main and outside the base. And what we saw on Blindside in Game 1 was Bonyth using his speed shuttle to put pressure on the main while also attacking the front. Then he tried to do the same thing on Desert Dwellers, but Dewalt was just on top of it with those Dragoons waiting in reserve. But Bonyth seems to like that timing, and it was so effective game 1 on Blindside.
Is this scouting probe taking a weird path, or is it just me? I don't remember seeing them go through that forest before.
However, it dodges his opponent's scout probe. Beautiful.
So I guess that was the play. He's like, I think Dewalt's going to scout at this time. I can get around it.
I mean,
but I don't know what benefit that gives him, really, but...
Maybe we can ask Bonyth afterwards.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just the way he collected just happened to path that way. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so we see Dewalt making the safety zealot, Bonyth not, and maybe it's because of that weird probe timing. Or maybe it's just because of the mana pylon that he's had done to him before. Or the scout. Look at this probe harass on the gas. This must be so annoying. And he's just the same probe over and over. He just goes in for the low HP probe.
He just knows the timing of the probe. He just gonna hit it.
And at the same time, Dewalt's probe is on 9 HP. It's almost died in Bonyth's base. He's doing the exact same thing as last time, where there's the probe scout harassing his gas while he tried to kill his opponent's scout probe.
Yeah, that just highlights Bonyth's multitasking and control. Like,
yeah,
being his strong point, right? So.
There are 2 probe fights going on. He's winning both of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But we do have Zealot chasing that probe around now, so he's not going to be able to get too much more harass done.
No, somebody's building. Dewalt has gone for +1 air. Dewalt is getting +1 air attack, and he cancels it. Citadel.
Oh, so we are going to get DTs here.
So that's the advantage of the Zealot. The Zealot chased out the scout probe, and also it conserves a tiny bit of gas. You get that extra unit out from the 1 gate, which is huge because you don't have the money to go a quick 2nd gate and get Dragoons.
Now is Bonyth going to be ready for this? If he does that proxy 4 gate again, he's
I'm
not
waiting for Bonyth to kill the scout probe. Bonyth is just he almost got it. Bonyth is just styling with the moving shots.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. And is that a robo he just started?
It is.
The minerals. Okay, so he's going to be able to get his observers out in time. Assuming he goes for observers right away and not shuttle reaver.
So yeah, it's probably Dewalt's job now to pressure a bit so that Bonyth thinks, oh man, there's a lot of units coming my way.
Until the Dragoon range timing. First. So Dewalt has to represent that it's like a 2-gate pressure build up until the Dragoon range timing, at which point he has to represent that he has Dragoon range by not ever attacking with a Dragoon. Because the moment that Bonyth sees there's no Dragoon range, he knows exactly what's happening. Yeah. So this is this pressure from Dewalt right now is he's representing that he can pressure Bonyth when actually he has nothing. It's a pure bluff.
He's like, look, I can attack you. I've got Dragoon range when really
yeah.
He doesn't. He never got a shot off. He's just like, okay, I'm going to turn around. DT on the way, but Bonyth should have his observer, assuming he went observer first, he should have his observatory on the way.
Bonyth smells this. I don't know how he smells this. Because, I mean, Dewalt is doing a good job of representing not this. Is the weird thing. Dewalt is, he was posturing as if he could attack. He was posturing as if he had like 2-gate going on. And there's nothing. He hasn't built enough. These 2-gate goons and a Zealot are all he has. His gateway's been inactive while he took a Nexus. But Bonyth just has the hardest build order counter that exists. He's gone for 1-gate Robo, Observer, 3-gate.
Yeah.
Like, this is like 99% chance Bonyth win. The only 1% chance that Dewalt wins is if the Observer somehow misses the...
yeah, if he can sneak the DT and get a bunch of probes or something.
So
okay, Observer
flying out.
It's gonna miss.
He's got a 2nd one building though. This one, he's rushing one.
He's going to. Yeah.
Does he see the blur? I'm watching his first person. He does not see the blur.
He didn't.
Oh, but there's a 2nd observer is about to finish. I don't think it matters.
Does he have 3 Dragoons about to pop? That's the thing. He should, right?
He doesn't see the. Oh, he sees the red dot on the minimap. He knows. It took him a second to see it. He had to get the observer back because it was rallied, but he knows.
Yeah, he's pulling his probes now. He's still going to take some probe damage here. Nice drills to stop that DT from getting any more kills, and he is going to kill it now.
Also, that was. I'm watching Bonyth's first person because I wanted to see it. He didn't have his screen there. He was microing his Dragoons to the middle of the map, moving them forward, keeping them with the observer, positioning shit. And his observer just saw a half-second of red on the minimap, and he's flicked straight back there. He hits that location hotkey. He's watching it. It's
Wow.
he's just so quick.
Now, is he going to be able to bust here? He takes on the first two cannons. That's
He
huge.
can
hasn't lost a
absolutely bust
Dragoon.
it.
Yeah.
There is a 0% chance that Dewalt holds. Storm is only just started. All there is cannons. The Dragoons don't even have range. There is a 0% chance for Dewalt.
You can see him spamming out the cannons. And he kills the first two Dragoons here for Bonyth, but it's not going to be enough. He has to pull the probes. He's trying his best to hold, but like you said, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. First Templar is out, but he does not
Cannons
have Storm
can't
ready yet.
focus fire, so he's just going to kill the cannons with focus fire. Like, this is textbook by Bonyth. He's abusing the fact that he has Dragoon range, his opponent doesn't. He's abusing the fact that he can focus fire, his opponent can't. The only thing that can hold this is Storm, and Storm isn't done.
So what did Dewalt need to do differently here? Like, how could he have defended this?
He needed to be playing a worse opponent. So the reason that Bonyth was... So the thing is, normally you... I'll talk about it after the game. I mean, I'm too hyped watching this right now, but like, there's some cool shit that I want to say.
Yeah. No, I'm generally curious too, like, because it just looks like there was nothing Dewalt could have done, right, to stop this from happening going DT expand, right? Like,
yeah, and firstly, Bonyth did the hardest hard counter build, but also just on the execution.
That's right, I forgot that.
Bonyth's first observer straight across the map. Bonyth was not using the first observer to hold the DT. Bonyth uses the second observer to hold the DT. Bonyth uses the first observer to punish the DT.
Yeah.
The Dragoons are already halfway across the map by the time the DT shows itself. So there's no storm timing, where by the time that Bonyth's army gets there, there's High Templar with Storm and like 6 cannons holding the arc.
What's the score?
The score is 5-3.
5-3. All right.
We got
So
one more
Bonyth
game,
does
but
take
who
it
won the
overall.
set?
Bonyth.
Bonyth.
Would you have guessed?
That was my guess. 5-4.
Well, he might pull off a 6-3.
That is true. He very well could.
Was that just the wrong build for Dewalt to do?
Against Bonyth.
It's a good build, but Bonyth
Yeah.
did hard countered it.
Yeah, Bonyth did hard counter, and also the way that Bonyth executes his hard counter is with more aggressive than normal. The first observer crossing the map, the goons meeting up with it and pressuring immediately, using the second observer and like reinforcements coming out of the gateways to hold the DT. That is super risky, but it creates that timing at the natural where High Templar doesn't have Storm, where the cannon arc doesn't exist yet, and then he started killing the cannons as they were going down. So there are, instead of being 6 completed cannons, there's 3 cannons and 3 cannons that are building. And he just chips down the cannons over and over because of that timing where he sends the Dragoons early. It's like, you can win from Dewalt's position if the opponent executes in a less aggressive way. But Bonyth, he didn't defend against the DT, he attacked against the DT, and he just was hyper aware, hyper vigilant on the minimap. He saw the red dot and he flicks back, defends with the probe drill, defends with the reinforcements. It's that execution of how he did the 3-gate ops made a huge difference in terms of what the 3-gate ops did. Love it. So good.
This is such high level play, high level PvP in action.
Okay, so we have one more game. May not seem important to some people because Bonyth won 5 games so far, and Dewalt has won 3. But the prize system is such that every single game is worth an equal percentage of the total prize. We have over $950. I believe every single game is worth more than $100. So the next game we're about to see, in other words, is worth more than $100. There is more at stake other than their reputations further being on the line. Does Dewalt want to be shut out 6-3? Or does he want to at least get another win and finish it 5-4?
Another $100.
Also, a 5-4 finish basically just says, well, it's still up in the air. We
Yeah.
still don't know.
Yeah. Can you imagine playing one of these 5-minute games, winning $100 for a 5-minute game? It's pretty good. All right.
Big shout out to all our donators, YouTubeable, Tofu Cake, Daz, CRVT, and many more. Really appreciate it. You made it worth their time, and they send their gratitude. Let's get into the last game of the battle for Aiur. And we will have an interview with Bonyth, who just confirmed.
Awesome. That'll be exciting.
And maybe with Dewalt too, because he's online.
We can just rate his stream and force him to do it.
A wonderful idea.
Okay, so Dewalt in blue. Oh, we see the probe leaving already.
Okay.
No time for introduction. We have our first
This
super
is in
early
base.
proxy.
It's not
proxy
even.
eight.
So if you do one probe mineral collection, then you get your fifth or your sixth probe slightly faster because you need 56 minerals, which is 4 probes mining once, 3 probes mining once. But he didn't even bother with that. This is like the fastest of the fast. He's delaying a probe for a whole mineral cycle to get an in-base pair of gateways. And I think he'll be able to do it. He should be able to get inside of Bonyth's base.
Yeah, if you take one of your first probes immediately, you can get inside of the base.
No, he's not. He doesn't know the timing. He didn't need to send the probe early. He could have done one more mineral crystal before he sent it, but I mean,
Or he
this is
could
so
send it
quick.
into the main. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he could have. Had he just sent it into the main, the timing he took it off the timing he sent the probe was the timing to do an in base. If he wanted to do right outside the natural, he could have done one crystal first.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this
So
is still
I'm
gonna
a bit confused why he's not going inside the base.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I was wondering if, because I saw the one game I did see on here, some guy built his pylon outside the base and then proxied inside the base. So I wondered if that was what Dewalt was looking here, putting the pylon outside, building inside. But
that would have been
looks like
cool.
he is not. He is going to build the gateways outside here.
I think that was the previous version, and that specific thing was changed afterwards.
Oh, okay.
In the future version.
Okay.
So Proxy 99, and he's not going to show the probe timing. I like that he's not showing the probe time because there is. Bonyth would know exactly what was going on if the probe came in at the normal timing.
Oh, that probe just barely does not see that pylon.
Oh, love it. That was really. Oh, he sees it. He sees it. And it's
Oh,
because
no.
of the probe
It's
blocked
because
off
of
the
his
route.
scouting probe.
Oh,
That's so
my
unfortunate.
God.
He did that to himself.
He did it to
Oh,
himself.
wow.
Bonyth still made the call. Bonyth made his call anyway. Okay, he cancelled it.
cancels.
Bonyth
He
saw
didn't
his
notice
probe
on the
saw
minimap.
it, but he didn't react.
Oh man, that's so unfortunate for. He did it to himself.
Yeah, he forced his opponent to send the scout probe the other way. And that was such a good proxy location too.
Oh no. Well, all of a sudden you got to think that Bonyth is probably favored here, with his zealot control being what it is. But we'll see. I mean, maybe Dewalt
there
can
will
still
be
do it.
2 zealots against 1. It's the
So,
thing.
Yeah.
And the battery is about to go down. I like how Bonyth is using the probes. He just has to get extra bonus damage down right now.
Or is he
Goes
going
to
to
the
try and
mixed
try?
battery.
Oh no.
This could go either way.
Yeah, it's going to come down to control. We'll see.
Bonyth has 2 extra probes to micro with. 1 extra probe to micro with. Oh, look at that choke there where he catches the 2 that's deflects him with 1 zealot plus.
First battery is up here for Bonyth, and then Dewalt as well. He still has the zealot advantage, so he can get
I
something
think
done
Dewalt has it. Dewalt has killed enough probes. That, like Bonyth can't pull more probes without. Oh, but that he's taking so much damage on those zealots from that getting trapped like that. No, Dewalt has it. Dewalt has it.
11, he can still do it.
Bonyth has 1 zealot for 3 HP, and another one was also 3 HP, but it just died. Dewalt has this. Oh, look at that surround. Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, he tried. Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. He's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it.
It doesn't even matter if he kills it. It's so low at this point that it's not functional. It can't go into battle. And I like that Dewalt is
Oh,
finishing like this
he's
too.
in the
This
way.
is just pure micro.
Yeah,
Dewalt
he's
saying,
showing that
okay,
he can compete with Bonyth in the micro battles.
yeah, it's not just that he's beating Bonyth, it's how he's beating Bonyth.
Oh, he's got his zealot trapped.
Oh.
It's a bit unfortunate for him, but he does
I
have
mean,
a second battery here as well.
It's 4 zealots against 1.
Oh, yeah.
It's, I said it's not just that he's winning the game, it's how he's winning the game. He's showing his opponent that you think this is your strongest element of your game, I can beat you like this.
Yeah.
It definitely helped that he had one more Dewalt as well, makes the micro a bit easier, but yeah, definitely very strong build here, very nice
Well,
decision for the last
But
game.
Bonyth had the probes that he could pull in to compensate for that. He could have, if his micro with the probes was good enough to get extra damage on the Zealots and then pull them back and rotate them around, it could have worked, but
Battery of Bonyth goes down.
Yeah.
We still got 2 here for Dewalt. GG is called.
5-4.
Nice. Hey, so we were right, MasterRey. We both predicted this.
Yes.
I'm happy
very
to see a 5-4, for sure.
I thought it was going to be 5-4 the other way.
Yeah, so all of us very close. It's very good to see the 5-4.
I was saying I'm number 1 Bonyth fan, but I mean Dewalt's practiced lately with Stork, and so I don't think Dewalt should have. Dewalt gave a fantastic showing today. That was taking Bonyth to a 5-4 series.
Well, it looked really bad for him when he was down 4-1, right? I'm like, is this just going to be Bonyth running away with it? But he came back, fought back hard, and won 3 of the last 4. So.
Yeah, and he won them with really disciplined play. He got his Reaver and Goon defense in the right places. He just didn't let Bonyth have anything on that Desert Dwellers game, and then the game afterwards on Charmander games. 6 and 7 those 2 games. It was just so solid.
Yeah, such great play from both of these players.
So
Like,
you
that was a
guys
great
were
series.
so excited that I don't think many of you noticed that I had speeded down the replay. It wasn't on fastest. It was on fastest.
I didn't notice. I can tell you
that
right
whole
now.
time.
I was just, I did not notice. I can tell you that.
Well, the difference isn't that much, but it's kind of funny to me because it's an intense micro battle, and I think there's a difference between the 2 speeds. But there you have it. The final score was 5-4. Many people in the poll that we conducted, thanks to Minerals for making that wonderful post on Team Liquid. Minerals is the map maker who made all these wonderful maps. The poll that we did, I think we had over 90 votes, and over 60% of them had voted for Bonyth. And many of them said the outcome was going to be 6-3 for Bonyth, but Dewalt pulled through, and you can just see that they're neck to neck. I heard a lot of talk of people saying Bonyth is really good, but he doesn't play as much as Dewalt. And Russ Brain, in his interview earlier that we read out loud, he had said, Bonyth is a fantastic player, but he's got a family, he's got a baby, and he just doesn't have the mental energy and time that Dewalt has. But we see that's not the case. He delivered the goods, he defends his title, he's won BSL seasons 8, 9, and 10. He's won Russian Cyber Games 2019. Looking at the wonderful history of BSL, I think he's been there from the very beginning and placed top 5 or top 10. So he is consistently a badass, top performing foreign player who defended his crown, I'd have to say. With all respect to Dewalt, and I have heard many people say Dewalt is the best, but in terms of championship titles, and if you just count this little Showmatch series, even though Bonyth just won by 1, you would say that he sort of is the reigning top foreigner. Am I wrong? Is that a big claim to make?
5-4, and in one matchup, it's still so close that it's like if one of them just shut the other one out 9-0, you'd be like, okay, yeah, that player's just on a different level. A 5-4 series, we still.
But
don't
he has
know.
the titles, is what I'm saying,
Yeah,
and
he
that's
has
what
the
really
titles, but
counts.
It's
As Michael Jordan says to LeBron, you can say you're as good or the best, but what counts is the champion titles. Big shout out to him. Guys, I made a bet with Russ Brain. He challenged anyone up to $500 to bet against him. He bet on Dewalt. I had no idea who was going to win. I bet on Bonyth. It's a pretty good bet if you ask me, because he stands a good chance of winning. And if I had lost the bet, I would have donated $100 to Russian Cyber Games 2021, which I would have been more than happy to do. And it's an honor just to have a bet with Russ Brain, from Esport Fund. But I ended up winning, and the $200 of my earnings, including my own $100, will be going to Bonyth and Dewalt. So this Showmatch prize pool was over $1,100. And both players benefited from it because they were so close. I want to thank them for agreeing to play in this wonderful show match. I want to thank all the viewers, donators, all the Protoss fans and haters This was a really nice event for me. I appreciate everyone supporting us. I'm joined by Kwark, MasterRey, and Snipe. If you guys want to give a shout out to any of your handles, things that you're doing, this might be a good time.
And I don't do much. I stream from time to time and I cast these events, but I'm just glad that I get to hang out here on a Saturday and watch Bonyth and Dewalt play games and talk about StarCraft. I thank you for putting on events like this, and thank you for having me.
No better way to spend a Saturday, right?
Yes,
MasterRey?
exactly. Thanks a lot for anyone organizing tournaments and show matches in StarCraft. It's a great scene, and I'm thankful for every single one. So thank you, Ox, as well.
So Bonyth said that he was going to do an interview with us. He's just driving back home from work, presumably. If we could hang around for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, he should be situated.
Did you see he had Dewalt too?
We could raid Dewalt. He's currently streaming. We could just pester him with questions. Message him on StarCraft.
I've also messaged him. He said he may be able to. I think he's doing some sort of BSL matchup. And
Yeah,
BSL
there's
Season
a
11
BSL
has
tournament
kicked
right
off.
now.
Okay, yeah.
And 2 of our BSL casters are here, MasterRey and Snipe. And Kwark, you're playing in BSL as well. Snipe, MasterRey, are you guys playing
I'm
in
not gonna
the
get it.
qualifier?
Yeah, I've already played some ladder matches, but you know, I kind of just off-raced, got them done quickly. I've done
That's
that kind of
awesome.
a couple seasons, but yeah, I won't be playing in
Yeah.
like a Gosu League or anything, but you know.
Top 28 of the foreign scene is such a competitive field. I'm good at StarCraft, but I'm not top 28, and I have no delusions about that. I'm like top 100.
Yeah, I was able to qualify for the Gosu League in the last 4 seasons, I think. I tried to do that again. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. It's definitely getting harder every season, but yeah, I will try my best. I'm always streaming on MasterRey on Twitch.
Yeah, that's
Let's
right.
see.
And we'll probably be casting Gosu League again, hopefully. Master
Yes,
and
I have actually spoke to the BSL stuff already, so you can definitely find me and Snipe casting Gosu League again next season.
It's exciting. And I don't know who Snipe a Lot is, so to whoever asked if I'm Snipe a Lot. No, but yeah, I am Laser Snipe or Snipe. I am the admin for CPL, if you don't know what that is. It's a low-level community, low to mid-level community, bunch of players from all skill levels compete against each other in a team league format, and they get coaching from higher-level players such as MasterRey and Kwark, who are both coaching in CPL as well.
Okay, I think right now is a great time for me to treat you all to something. I'm very excited about this. We got an event kicking off. We've called it the Best of the Best tournament. We invited all the top tier S-rank players from our Discord community who've participated in show matches before. I also invited other people who hadn't joined. And we had 12 magnificent players sign up. It's a round robin tournament. There's 5 games in each show match. In a round robin, they all have to play each other. That means there will be 66 show matches or 330 games. We will be kicking it off next week on Friday and Saturday, and every Friday and Saturday thereafter until the end of April. The stream times will be Friday starting at 1900 CET, which is I believe 1 p.m. Eastern. On Saturdays, we'll be streaming at 2300 CET, which I believe is 5 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to show you our promotional video, which I haven't released yet. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I may have seen it already, but I'm ready to see it again. You're about to find out who the 12 players are.
And Kwark, MasterRey, Snipe will be hopefully casting as many of those events as possible, and I'll be inviting other community casters. A real cool thing about the prize system is that every single game within each show match is worth an equal percentage of the prize pool. Right now, the prize pool is actually $3,500. If you do the math with 12 players, 5-game format, that means every single game is worth more than $10. So if a player wins 5-0 in a show match, they win $50. If someone loses 2-3, they would still get $20. I'm very proud of this new, interesting, and equitable price system that we devised, because otherwise in leagues and tournaments and events, it's usually the top 3 or 4 players that grab all the prize money, but it's not possible to do that in this kind of format. And it's very similar to the Bonyth and Dewalt Showmatch series, where every single game is worth equal percentage of the prize. So it'll be cool to see how that sort of plays out. Without further ado, though, big shout out to Depleted from Argentina, a very Gosu 2v2 player from our Discord. I believe he's one of the best graphic designers. If anyone needs the best of the best, he could probably produce ASL quality type videos. I want to thank him for producing such a lovely promo video for us and doing our graphics. His credentials are on screen. And that will be kicking off next Friday and Saturday. Official announcement coming soon. I'll post it in our Discord server and on Team Liquid and on Reddit. A short note about Koget. I used player's current country of residence as their flag. So he's currently in Denmark, and that's the flag that he has received. And the prize pool is currently at $3,500 and not $3,000, but that was the initial prize pool. I'm sorry for interrupting.
It's such a hype event. Those 12 players are like the who's who of Pro and Boudoir. There's nobody on there who doesn't have a chance to beat another player. There's 4 of the top players from each race. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting these games going and checking them out. So I hope everyone in the chat is too. That was a pretty hype video. So definitely tune into Team Think Quick and check out those videos, check out those VODs, check out those games. Starting next weekend.
Yeah, appreciate you guys joining. So we're a non-profit, sort of like collective, inclusive showmatch series. All donations, subs and stuff go to prize pools and players. I'm fortunate enough to have another source of income that I don't need to take anything from people, and just set up great events for players, for fans, and people who are just interested in casting. And I appreciate all the support we've received so far. Our regular Showmatch series will be put on hold from early February to the end of April while we're streaming all those games. Every Friday we will show 3 show matches, and each one is 15 games, so that's 15 games on each day. And on every Saturday we will show 3 show matches again, that's 15 games. The current prize pool every single day, more than $150 is up for grabs. So there's that cool aspect of it. And for subscriptions every month starting in February, since there's 330 total games and we should stream 110 each month, I think we'll offer 110 replays from the Best of the Best tour for $5 in February. Offer another 110 replays in March for $5, and offer the last set of 110 replays in April for $5. and all that subscription money will be going to the prize pool for players. I do hope people can contribute whatever they can. And as the prize pool increases, so does the percentage that every single game is worth. So one of the cool things about a prize system is by pitching in money, it's not all going to go to, if you think Dewalt's going to win it, or Bonyth, or Aiur. It's going to be spread out much more evenly because it's based on game wins. So there's that really cool aspect of sort of trickling down benefit.
Yeah, I think if you're like, I don't know, top 10 non-Koreans, that it probably gets quite annoying that you're that good, you're on that level, and yet Bonyth gets all the prize money. Dewalt sometimes gets some too. It's nice that being top 10 is going to be enough that you can get some money.
Yeah, very cool format. I like it. Spread the wealth around for the top players.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for
awesome.
Mr. Bonyth to come for an interview. Dewalt said he might. I want to thank everybody for showing up to the event. Five-four score. Bonyth won $500. $600. I think $700.
What's the prize pool at?
It's $956, and then Rustbrain, with all due respect, I would love to say, you know what, it was just a friendly bet. I don't dare to accept any money from you, but because I promised to put $100 to Dewalt and $100 to Bonyth, we should get $200 more. So what is that? $1,056.
Bonyth got $631, and Dewalt, because of the extra $100, gets $425.
That's pretty good.
So $525. My bad.
Our goal was achieved. Big shout out to Tofu Cakes once again for donating $300 and helping us reach the second stretch goal we have. So a re-show match between them live will happen in the future, and we will be releasing all the replays on our Discord server, so join it, and on our thread in Team Liquid.
Models, the score is 5 for Bonyth win.
And I believe we are currently waiting for Bonyth for the interview, right?
I certainly
Trying to
am.
help
I don't
him
want
work
to burden you guys because I know you have schedules and other things to do, so I totally understand if you'd like to leave early. If you just want to hang out, feel free to do so.
I am curious how he was so certain that it was DTs in that in game number 9. So game number 8, because he did the hardest of hard counters. Like he smelled something. I don't know what it was because Dewalt was faking it perfectly.
Did he just notice, maybe because Dewalt didn't hit him with the Dragoons at all, that he's like, okay, because you didn't hit me, maybe you're going DT? I don't know.
That's what I want to know because
Yeah.
Dewalt was pressuring like it was a 2-gate. He was. It's not like when they go DT and it's like the most naked DT ever. You look at them and they're staying at the top of their ramp. They have no units and the Dragoons have no range. You're like, okay, yeah, this is DT. That was. Dewalt was correctly representing not DT, and Bonyth was so certain that it was.
Yeah. I wonder about his scout on that mapper in that game too. Like when he went through the forest, was that something just a misclick, or did he have something else in mind for that? Like why he went that way? Or the choice of his proxy location for that 4-gate goon. I guess you said you were watching from his view, right? And he saw where Dewalt checked, but maybe I don't know.
Yeah, he watched the replay of the game before that on Blindside.
Okay, someone requested the StarCraft music in the main menu. And there is Bonyth. He should be joining us soon.
Very nice.
I sent him a bunch of interview questions, and he was nice enough to actually answer them. And I recorded the answers, but if I can get him for a live interview, that's even better, because I think most people are sick of hearing my voice.
Well, you got a pretty good voice. I think people like it.
No, they came for you guys. And Bonyth and Dewalt.
I'm watching Bonyth watch the replay now, and yeah, he does identify Dewalt's scout pattern on Blindside and then just abuse it. That's
Okay.
just such a clever thing to do in a series.
Yeah.
Like he goes to the timing where Dewalt is scouted on regular fastest, then after he sees Dewalt's pattern, up to 8x.
Welcome, Bonyth. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey guys.
Congratulations, man. You won the Battle for Aiur 9-game Showmatch series. Our prize pool reached over $1,100.
Yeah, nice, but more important than the prize is just the honor and pride.
Yes. Altaro Doom. I have some questions for you, my friend, and then I'll let everyone else ask whatever they want to, if you don't mind. So my first question is, how was your mind and body feeling on the day you had to play your #1 competitor, Dewalt, in a 9-game series, PvP, on 3 new maps?
So let's see. I'm more of an evening player, and due to Dewalt living so far in the east, I had to play more in the morning because there's like 5 or 6 hour difference between us. My body and my mind were certainly not in the best shape. However, they were fine considering. So I felt pretty good, maybe not like super good, but good enough to play that day. And yeah, I suppose that's what else to say.
In your interview with me as well, because I recorded some of the things you said, you said, I always want to produce good results. And you get nervous a lot, surprisingly. And you think there's a strong correlation between how much you want to win and how stressed you are. And you said the simplest method to overcome this is to be active, so that automatism in you is more immune to the stress factor. What do you mean by that?
It's like think of this as if you're active, you play some stuff by default, like your basic level increases. Meanwhile, if you're rusty, then you need to think about everything you do. So I just mean that of course in StarCraft you need to think about a lot of things, but you improve this basic level, and it's pretty important to have that just very simple mechanics, sending probes to minerals. Just be active, and you will not mess up simple things that will further cause you your stress to increase.
Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, says excellence is not a virtue but merely a habit. So you're excellent because you're active and you play your ass off and you're really good. So the second question I had was, in preparation for the show match, did you train PvP before your series against the Dewalt?
Well, this question is a little bit answered in the first one. Although, let's see. I had to play against Dewalt, who is a part of Aiur clan, and it's a really powerhouse in Europe. And it's hard, for example, Oya. I'd love to ask Oya for games, but it comes with a certain risk that he just tell his teammate what's happening.
Right.
So yeah. So I found CRPT. We played some games. I'm thankful to him, but in general, I was just trying to be active. So I, I don't really care if I'm playing PvZ, PvT, or PvP. Well, ladder is surprisingly like 50% of PvP, so that's good practice, even simple ladder. So just staying active was the biggest thing for me.
Okay, big shout out to CRVT for donating $250 to this event. My next question was, did you study Dewalt's PvP games at all?
So while I was at job and I had nothing to do, one of my eyes were on Africa's Protoss pro gamers, and I saw Stork and Shuttle some earlier day, and they played like best of 15 or something against some non-Korean player, and that had me thinking, well, who could that be? Non-Korean, so either, and then I was like, okay, this is either Dewalt or it is some Chinese. I don't know until this day, but if that was Dewalt, I'm so screwed. That was my thinking. So not much preparation. I just kind of Dewalt knows me and I know Dewalt. So we don't need to prepare if the top in foreign scene knows each other's play style a lot, especially when it's just a mirror match between me and Dewalt.
Okay, wonderful to have you, and I apologize if some of my questions are really stupid and silly. My next one is, what do you think Dewalt's strengths and weaknesses in PvP are?
I don't think Dewalt has any weaknesses anymore. He's solid overall, just so solid in both defense and offense. In PvP is different than PvZ and PvT because there is no interracial knowledge. Like you only need to know one race to be able to do good in this matchup. So I think it comes down a little bit more to mechanics. So probably this is why maybe some build order advantages. So yeah, maybe this is where my upper hand came out to be, but the score was 5-4, so you can hardly say I had any upper hand.
That's an amazing compliment coming from the best of the best. I'm gonna wrap this up. At least my questions. I'm sure Kwark, MasterRey, and Snipe might have better questions of their own. How did you feel winning the Showmatch series, man?
Great, as I said, I did it, and I'm happy. I'm happy to produce wins. Why is it? Because I suppose I must be ambitious, and I like winning, and I don't want to be ashamed in front of my Twitch channel and answer people's questions regarding my loss. That would be horrible feeling. So I'm really glad I can just proudly say that I won.
And just going back to who won which games, Dewalt won the first one. Then you came back. You tied it up 1-1. You won the third game, so you're up 2-1. You won game number 4, 3-1. And then you won game number 5 too, 4-1. So you just had one more win to get. But then Dewalt comes back. You got 4-2 score. And then Dewalt comes back. You got a 4-3 score. And it was that game number 8 on Blindside that you won the last one.
Mm-hmm.
To win game number 5 for yourself.
Yeah, so what's your question?
I think Kwark had a good one about game number 8.
I've got a bunch of questions. I was going to ask them in order of the games, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so after the game 2 on Eclipse, I saw that you watched the replay and you saw where Dewalt's scout pattern was. You saw which bases he checked for proxies. Is that why in the second game on Blindside, you went for the Fugate Goon where you did and the way you did?
No. So it had to do with how the games went and just pure estimation on what the Dewalt may do on such map, and I figured the chances are he's gonna go for a build like a faster Nexus build of some sort. So this is why I decided not because of probe scouting pattern, because I didn't think he would check this location. So I was wondering about that closer base near the Devils, like at 12 o'clock, but I decided to make it a little bit further, and once, if it's not scouted, and if there is no DTs of some sort, that would be good enough. So no such deep reads.
Okay, so game 1 Charmander, you skipped the Zealot and then died to a Fugate Goon. Second game on Charmander, Dewalt loses an early Zealot, you Fugate Goon him and kill him the same way that he killed you. Did you just decide that his build game 1 was better and just try to reverse it on him?
So let's see, what did I really have in mind?
It seems weird that if you if your build on Charmander that using game 1, if you think that's the best build, I would expect to see it again. But you take his build and use it against him.
It's not like Frigate is the best build because you just die to DTs, right? So it's a little bit of a gamble. You in a PvP you build Dark Templars if you're a normal player, like 20% of the time, 30% at most. So it's a good gamble, good odds that you'll be able to avoid certain death with Frigate. And on this map you got this second ramp, so it's not like you're not going up against a single ramp if anything happens, right? So you got the second ramp that you can slide your goons in or your zealots, and that's it. I feel comfortable in my micro, so this is why I like to choose. I like to be dependent on my unit control, and this is exactly aggressive builds like 2-gate, 3-gate.
Okay, game 7 in Charmander, you attempted a 1 Reaver, 1 Shuttle. Lower Dragoon count, bust against more Dragoons than 2 Reavers. Did you know what you were attacking? Did you just think that you could out-micro it, or were you caught off guard?
So it all came down to the moment when I crossed the bridge. I hoped that I could get in a good position before Dewalt can, but while I was crossing that bridge, Dewalt got the better position. So it was all about that moment. From the time's perspective, probably I should just not do that. And because our economy situation was about the same, so I would be fine if I just kept my goons outside of his bridge, and that would still give me advantage, given that I could just fly around with shuttle and reaper harassment. So yeah, definitely not the great call, but of course we would be saying otherwise if I happen to have that 1 extra second or 1.5 to get that position across the bridge, and then the angles would work in my favor.
It was. See, that's really interesting that you think that you could have won that with positioning, and you're probably right. But it was attacking more stuff with less for the same kind of stuff. That was such a committed, play where you think, okay, he's got more dunes and more Reavers, I can take him. And
PvP is a lot. PvP is just about the magical rivers, so like 2 great splash damage and the battle changes. So, on Charmander, if you actually get across this bridge, minerals are in range of rivers. I think like if you can get across that bridge, you get yourself in a nice advantage. You put under a lot of stress your opponent. But if you cross that bridge.
Okay, game 8 on Blindside, you seem to have the hardest hard read on any person's build ever. He forced your scout probe out, he had +1 air coming, which he cancelled, Citadel, DT, and then he postured with 2 goons and a zealot. He went right up to you representing a 2-gate, and you're like, no, this is DT. This is 100% DT. You go 1 gate, Robo, 2 more gates, Observer, 3 gate goon with Observer, and you send them straight across the map with a 2nd Observer to get the DT. How did you know?
I suppose this is I kind of felt Dewalt. So this map is really knowing Dewalt, of course. That would be like 1 gateway, Nexus into robotics into additional gateways, or it could be 1 gate, Nexus into gateways and then into robo, or it could be simply 1 gate into DT into Nexus. And so I thought this time around it could be DT, and especially when some players try to be too aggressive when they hide something, and I'm not sure if that was the case. I didn't get that feeling that because Dewalt is not such a low quality player that he would be over aggressive. However, I felt that in this game this could be DTs.
That's really good, because I was watching it going, to my mind, if somebody's sometimes players just telegraph DTs. They show you they have no degree in range, they just stay at the top of the ramp, they're building zealots, you're like, okay, yeah, this is 100% DT. Dewalt did the exact opposite thing. He was out on the map, no units, but he was posturing like he had so many units behind it. And you're saying, okay, he's being too aggressive, it's too... So that makes...
Yeah, it's like you're too aggressive for the little units you have.
It's just next level. He's trying so hard to tell you that it's not DTs, it's DTs. Love it. That's my question about the game stuff.
Thank you, Kwark. Snipe, MasterRey, are you still there? Did you guys have anything you wanted to ask? Executor?
Yeah, I'm still here. Kwark asked a bunch of the things I was wondering too. Got covered. The only other one I think I had was one of the games on Desert Dwellers. What was the choice to go 2-gate there, and did you plan to kind of work around Dewalt's army? Because did you trick him? He went up to defend you were gonna go around to 12 o'clock, and then you were just able to walk up the ramp and just take the fight there.
I checked the replay. I think he saw my army movement with his probe. I could be wrong here, but I think he just misclicked on the minimap, so the goons went to the other side of the wall here there. So, even if they were in position, well, that would be a different game. But still, the game went as I expected. I think Dewalt skipped his Zealot in that game. I don't. Yeah, so Zealot really gives you an advantage when it comes to situations like this. So I was really happy to see him not making that Zealot. And yeah, I think that was just a little bit luck on my part rather than Dewalt just misreading it. But yeah, I had the intention to go for the bridges because I have 2 bridges there. I was wondering which path should I choose when I do this, and I thought the bridges are the best, like the left bridge, and I went for it, and it worked out.
Yeah, it did. Well, congrats on the win. Nice play.
Thanks.
Yeah, I have no further questions. We have talked about a lot of things during the cast, and Kwark already summarized everything and asked all the important questions that we had during the cast. So, yeah, I can just say congratulations, Bonyth, also from my side. Great games.
Is there anything you want to say to all your fans, Bonyth, around the world?
Definitely thanks for supporting because usually you cheer for the in theory weaker player. Of course, there is no weaker player between me and Dewalt. I'm trying to say thanks for supporting. Thanks for all the Peru supporting. I know there are lots of fans there, Bolivia and
Is
South
that right?
America.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. What else? I'm not sure who made Charmander, the author of that map. So I was practicing on an older version of it, and it was possible to block a DT with just 2 gateways. So I plan to use that to make like aggressive 3 gateways, and if need be, block with additional gateway. But then I got an updated map, and it was no longer possible, and that felt really bad.
All the maps were made by Minerals. Yeah, so that's kind of an interesting comment. Is there anything you wanted to say about playing a PvP against Dewalt on these 3 newer maps?
Let's see. Definitely, I think the games would be longer had it been more regular maps, because you don't get that feeling of safety on a map that you're not used to. So you're not gonna use that defender's advantage a lot, because you just don't feel at home. You don't know maps in detail, so you can abuse it.
Right.
So
Nice
it's
way
like
to-
you're more committed to aggression, I think, on newer maps.
Is there one that you particularly liked more than the other one? We had Charmander, Blindside, and Desert Dwellers.
As a player, I like to. My only issue with not issue, it's just I like playing on a map that's good for my eye. Like for example, Charmander seems like a good map to play in the evening or at night, where when there is absolutely no sunlight, because it's pretty dark map, almost black terrain, so you don't want any sunlight in your monitor, right? So there is that aspect. And about orange, like desert twilight terrain, maybe as well too aggressive for an eye. This is why in ASL you usually see maps on terrain such as polypoid. You rarely see
Right,
snow.
Jungle World is very popular tile set.
Yeah, exactly, and it is blue terrain as well. So yeah, maybe for such reasons.
Well, the map maker and myself were certainly grateful for the top 2 foreigners accepting to play 9 games and on newer maps. So we really appreciate it, and thank you very much. We did have someone in the chat who kindly wanted to ask how your family's doing.
My family is doing good, and baby is healthy. How is my wife? My wife is busy also doing something. Pretty good. Thank you for asking.
So, when it comes to the whole family issue, and I know you're good friends with Russ Brain, I don't know if I told you, but he had bet on Dewalt. And
I read that in a Team Liquid thread, yeah.
He also had an interview with me where he said, I'm quoting him, I'd say Dewalt is by far superior over Bonyth for a number of reasons. And he said basically it's because you're a young dad and you had your first kid and your daughter's around 4 to 6 months, and he's a father himself. And I'm sure he sort of understands how that could affect your...
And he's pretty young as well, because I could be twice as active if it wasn't for my daughter.
So Bonyth is saying he could be even
I don't know.
scarier. So that's scary. I guess maybe all your competitors should be happy that you have a family, huh?
Yeah, maybe, but as I said, I don't plan on losing easily. StarCraft is a lot also about knowledge, so it's not like everything comes down to mechanics alone. So yeah, you also, there is a lot of knowledge involved in StarCraft, and it doesn't matter if I'm gonna have a daughter or 10 of them, I'm gonna still possess that knowledge.
That's awesome, man. I think everybody's rooting for you in Bombastic Star League Season 11. You're kicking ass. in the qualifier stage, and there's the Russian Cyber Games. There's going to be the Russian Cyber Games 2021 prize pool is minimum $10,000. They usually double up, so I'm sure it'll get to 20,000. Bombastic Star League Season 11, ran by your good friend Zero. The prize pool is 5,000. I'm sure they're going to double that up. So what is that? That's 30,000 minimum prize pool with those two major leagues going on. And it's a really exciting year for Brood War, and you're a big reason why people follow it, watch it, play it. So it's a great honor for you to be here with us today. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, don't forget to include yourself in the pack. So thank you as well for organizing yet another tournament. Makes you almost wonder whether it's an option to become a StarCraft 1 pro gamer, eh?
That means so much coming from you. Thank you. And we're really blessed to have you in our Best of the Best tournament. But again, thank you for your time. I know you're busy. Everybody, we had Bonyth join us for an interview. Unfortunately, Dewalt was busy. But congratulations to you again, man.
Yeah, Dewalt must have been busy sleeping, most likely. Or no, maybe he participates. Is he participating in DSL?
Out of all days, he turned on his stream today. He didn't know that we were showing the show match. So he might be online now, and I think he has some sort of BSL commitments. But it's kind of nice that he's streaming again. I don't think he was on for some time.
Yeah.
Everybody will be following you and Dewalt closely. And yeah, man. It must feel really good to be at the top, but I bet it's so stressful. And I know that you've talked about this before and you've put it in your stream titles, that it's just exhausting to be the best. Because people expect so much of you and you expect so much of yourself. It's kind of like a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. Like, you're just not supposed to when you're at the top, when you win BSL and then another BSL, people never expect you to lose. I don't even know how Flash must feel with so many more viewers than me. So it's like, wow, so much pressure on him, but he's just doing it. He's the best. So, but it really is a lot of pressure. Yes.
Right. He's the best in Korea, but you're the best outside. You're our finest representative, and I'm very proud that since '98, I was always a huge fan of Protoss, and coming back and seeing how much you've been kicking ass, and that you're a Protoss player, and that you bring so much pride to us. I think there's a lot of hate for Protoss because of players like you and Dewalt and them, and that's fine by me.
Yeah, when one race is successful, people start to complain a little bit about the race. It has always been that way. Like some years ago, Ziki was really dominating like the whole scene, and people would be sick of all the Zergs. Probably they start to be sick of Protosses now, most likely. It's understandable.
Well, I'm not sick of it, and it's great to have you there up at the top representing Aiur. Antaro Adun, my friend, thank you so much for joining us.
Antaro Adun, goodbye.
Bye, my friend. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. I'm gonna wrap things up and show our Best of the Best tournament promotional video. I will be announcing it officially on Team Liquid and on Reddit. We'll start next week, Fridays at 1900 CET, that's 1 p.m. Eastern. On Saturdays starts at 2300 CET. And we'll be doing that every Friday and Saturday until the end of April. I hope people join us. Should be a really fun, inclusive events. I want to thank Kwark, who joined us, MasterRey, Snipe, if they have anything they want to say. It sounded like you were going to say something, Snipe.
No, I just want to thank you for putting this event on. Thanks for having us as casters, and thank all the viewers for tuning in, and of course Bonyth and Dewalt for putting on such a great show match for us.
Thank you. Thank
yeah,
you,
it was a
MasterRey.
great event. Also from me, thanks a lot for organizing the event. And we saw some awesome games. It was also very nice that we got like an interview from the master himself in the end here. So
Yeah.
it was very great event. So thank you.
Thank you. And hopefully I'll be with you guys next week. You'll be casting our tournament games as much as I can get you. So I'll bug you every week and see if I can get you on Fridays or Saturdays. And we have other community casters who volunteer, so there'll be some variety. And I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for doing all the great community work that you guys do, running events, coaching, you know, interacting with your chat and all kinds of things. It's one of the reasons I kind of stuck around. I love the game, but it's not enough to keep somebody like me engaged. It's because of the wonderful community members who are around, especially Rustbrain and Esport Fund. Just want to give a huge shout out to them for spending so much money for nothing in return. They're like the Santa Claus of the Brood War scene. So I'll sing their praise all the time. Okay, guys, I'm gonna run a promotional video, which we'll release on our YouTube and other places, and probably raid someone, maybe Dewalt. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.